Here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all our friends in South Florida. You like the way I put that fake music up?
I like they don't give me any time to put my post.
I don't give you any time. You heard that he's pushing it out. We got to go. It is time.
The phone is what I got to get.
It is time. You know something? I'm tired of this. I am so tired of this. Welcome to all our friends in South Florida, New York, Atlanta, Chicago, L.A., Mets are playing Washington, Nationals tonight. That's going to be a new segment.
What are you doing?
I'm going to change earbuds. You know, I noticed that you have the best earbuds. Are you sure those aren't mine?
They are yours.
They were mine?
Yes.
You took my good earbuds?
I didn't take them. I borrow them every day. There's a difference.
Oh.
It's kind of like when you ask someone, did you lie? You go, I didn't lie. You just didn't ask me the question specifically. So
I tore up my house looking for my earbuds, and you have them.
I have them. They sit here every day right here.
But I thought those were yours. No, those are yours. Those aren't mine.
No, mine are in my purse.
Really? So why is it that I don't have... Why is it
what
that
are these?
These are another earbuds.
They're gonna
Why
fly
is
here.
it? Why is it? Why is it that you have my good earbuds when you have good earbuds?
Why is it that Rashad brings me my wand and Dan turns on the air when it's hot in here?
I'm going to ask the question one more time.
And I answered it. I know you don't like
I
when
want you to
answer a
get your
question
good
with a question.
earbuds. I want you to get your good earbuds.
Yes.
So that you can leave mine alone. All right, now this doesn't work. I can't hear nothing. See? Unbelievable.
You know what happens, what they say. It's not nice to mess with Mother Nature.
Is that what it is?
That is what it is.
All right, so what do you got cooking?
We got Chit Chat Thursday going on today. You can find us live streaming on Facebook and Periscope at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. We have a great show lined up. We've got Noah Crane with us and Dr. Kim Porter. We're announcing a big event coming up on Sunday, and Noah's show starting tonight at WNN 95.3 FM, 1470 AM, taking our 7 o'clock spot, which is going to be amazing. So we're going to get more with that. At 1 o'clock hour, we've got Pam Polani coming on. We're talking living wills, trusts, estates. And if you need any advice or estate planning, Pam is the one to go to, and it's not your typical estate planning. Pam is, as they say, the hostess with the mostest. She pulled together an incredible Alzheimer's event. End of February it was. Almost 2 months ago we did that event.
She did. And that was
Called
a
the Brain Bowl,
dynamite.
which was amazing. The 3 Alzheimer's associations in Boca Raton. And next year, save the date, April 12th. It is going to be, again, with the 3 Alzheimer's associations, and now adding the 4th. Parkinson's is going to be part of that event. So it was 955-plus people this year. I don't even know what it's going to be
I don't know why
next year.
you do that.
Do what?
There was 1,000 people. 955.
Because she's going to tell me.
955.3 people.
950, so it wasn't quite
No, it wasn't. She told me it was 1,000 people. And if you add up the interns and all the waiters and everything, it was 1,000 people. So now what do you want to talk about?
We're going to talk about how we're adding in food for next year. It's when we write up our contract with her.
They don't feed us.
Contracts.
They did.
Food in our contracts.
Oh, I got a bone to pick. They did not feed us.
They did. There was pizza.
Oh, yeah. And I can eat pizza how?
There wasn't diabetic-friendly food. You have to be more specific.
I saw
See, it's
steak.
like-
I saw lobster.
But we didn't get their food.
I didn't get no food.
I know.
I got a case of water. You know how they gave me the
But
water?
we did.
You know? Yeah, Reed. How come Reed is always with food? How does Reed get all the food?
That's why he's not here today. Have you noticed we haven't had food this week?
So he doesn't
Reed
show
isn't
up?
here. He's like the sniffing hound dog. When we have food, he comes in and he's good to go. And when no food, where's Reed? No Reed.
No
Reed,
Reed.
no food.
You can tell when there's no food in the house because Reed ain't here.
We got Rashad Man on. Rashad Man, how do you like that name? Better than BB, better than Rasta, better than...
Well, it's definitely better than
Rah,
Rasta,
rah,
for
rah,
sure.
rah. I don't know
Rasta
what he's
man.
calling you.
Freddy's nicknames.
We've got Stephen joining us. What's happening with you?
Hi.
You.
I just found out that I have to work on Tuesday at 10 o'clock.
Well, Stephen's gonna take over
Well, guess
Tuesdays
what,
at 10
Steve?
o'clock.
Steve, you're going to be real busy. Both of you guys are going to be real busy because
Here's what I don't get. We bring in interns and we lose them to the other station.
you don't lose them, but they have...
No, we lose them. They will not be here with us. They will be there for
Yeah,
you.
but you get it. You can't be selfish, Dawn. You have to let them fly.
They can fly. That means I got to bring you
Let us
more.
fly, Dawn.
You gotta let them fly. I mean, they came here to work, so I'm putting them to
know.
work. I may have gigs all week for you guys. It's ridiculous. Phone doesn't stop. I ain't gonna look anymore. Oh, I have to push it out. And listen, I just want to say that if you are listening to today's show, you know, sharing is caring.
Yes.
And because the logarithms on Facebook has
Oh my
changed,
gosh.
because they, you know, I mean, he's going to the White House, or he's going to go to Congress because he messed up. Sorry, you got to call it what it is. To get your show pushed out now, you have to have friends do it. It isn't anymore about just sharing it anymore. They will put you in Facebook jail for 2 weeks or a week or 10 days.
There's nothing. Everyone says no administrative access, no sharing. It's really not very fair, and then you have to dispute everything. I'm not liking this so much.
No, it is fair. So if you can do me a favor and you're watching the show, just share it on your Facebook page, and if you got a couple other pages you have, you want to share it there, we will greatly, greatly appreciate it. Now, this young lady, I noticed that you put up an ad about your show coming. Did you see how many people tagged on the show, congratulating and everything else?
I'm so grateful.
Yeah, we were 253 the last time I looked.
Oh, really?
Since this morning.
How'd you even see it? I didn't even see it.
Because
See,
I'm
you're
an
live with them.
admin
Yes, you
on her
are.
page. We're going to be doing the production for it tonight. So I got to see all of that. I got to share it out. I got to put it. You know, the hashtag movement, we have hashtag the Brooklyn Cafe TV. Did you know
Hashtag
that?
Brooklyn Cafe TV.
Did you know that?
Well-
You're not even a member. You're not even a member. I sent you an invitation you haven't joined.
You never sent me an invitation.
I said that.
Look who's
So-
here.
So if you want to join hashtag the Brooklyn Cafe TV, come on down. We will let you put whatever you are in there as long as it's not nudity.
Deb Barcelona in the house.
Now,
Hey, hi.
Deborah, you know, you told me you had to take care of your grandson and everything else, and here you sit.
Well, I have to make him up 2:05.
So she's good.
So I got done with the class and called.
Did you know she was coming?
Came here.
You knew she was coming.
No, it didn't.
I know she was coming.
Or you knew she was coming too. Everybody knew you were coming. I didn't get the
Again,
memo.
I tell you, I keep this
I was
whole
supposed to
organization
last night. I
afloat.
didn't tell you, I'm sorry.
No, you didn't. You
I
told
keep
me
this
everything else. You
whole
didn't tell
thing
me.
going, right? We bring in the interns and they move out. We bring in Deb, she brings in Noah. We just keep going.
So you knew everybody was going to be here? All right, so I'm just going to sit back and say, if you want
That's
harvest,
why I get the good headphones.
if you want, those are my headphones. We're going to talk. If you want to text in, I want harvest, we'll give you a $10 gift card. You know, we got a few of them here. Call in. We're giving out a couple. Call in and get yours.
Harvest Seasonal Grill and Wine Bar.
Write in. Today is no calling. Today you have to write in for now.
Tonight at 7 o'clock, we want to introduce Noah Crane and her new show. What is the name of your new show?
Create your greenest grass.
And why is it that name?
I believe that when we go inside ourselves and we nurture our own life without competing with anybody else, without the conversation of scarcity or comparison, we can actually create a life we really love. It's all about our journey and us being connected to ourselves. Everything is possible when you're connected to yourself and you believe in you and you do the right things in life.
Look at the glow you have. You are just beaming. Look at her, right? She's like,
Thank you. I'm
Deb,
so
it's like
grateful.
watching you, and you've come and you've blossomed with us for the past 6-8 months, and I look at Noah just in a week, and how she's come out of her shell, and she's blossoming, and she's beaming, and she's ready to go. She's taken on the next step of her growth, and we are so excited to be a part of it and do this show tonight.
I'm beyond grateful.
And you have a book, so The Grass is Greenest,
Where I am.
which is how it all ties into the name of the show. If you move closer to me, you might be in the camera shot.
I'm trying to get something out of my pocket. Keep
You know how
talking.
they say moms have like eyes in the back of their head? I have like a little cheat in front of me right here. I have like a mirror in front of me, so I get to see everything that's
Did you see
going on.
Did you see who walked in?
Reed, how you doing? You know what? There's a bag of cake over there for you. I'm telling you, a bag. There are 3 boxes of cake, and here's the issue.
Yeah, it's this cake.
Freddy's on Weight
guys.
Watchers, and I'm in the middle of Passover, so the
So
cake
they
is
can't.
still.
Nobody can eat it.
So we can't eat it. So you guys dig in. You know you can eat it. You guys can eat it. We just haven't opened it because we haven't had a chance to dig into it. There's a big bag that Faith brought. I think it's called Grandfather's Cake.
Grandpop's
Reed
cake.
always comes in on the perfect time.
See, Reed knows. He smells food, and they're like, wait, you know when your kids come home from college and you're like stock your refrigerator to the food? That's like having Reed in the house. And Steven, he's there, and they're good to go.
And they never have a lack of words for eating. You notice, like college kids, they all
As
want to
we
eat.
digress, tell us about your book.
My book is all empowerment. It's to help people live their best life, to nurture their life. It's the work that I've done in my own life that has really created my greenest grass. Everything is choice. What we choose to in our lives and what we bring into our life is our choice. It's that phrase, we make our bed and then we sleep in it. So we have to be so careful with our choices and what we bring into our life and what we choose to do. My book is all about my path, my journey, and then helping people create this amazing path that I've been able to create through my life and directions of how to do it and what to eliminate and what to connect to and to be able to make the journey so much better. And the power is in us and then in getting the right people to help us along the journey. We can't do it alone. We all need each other to win in this world.
What motivates, I mean, you're young, to write such a powerful book, and the title is amazing because everyone is always looking at the other side. You know, and you go, okay, the grass isn't greener on the other side, it's just longer. And everyone comes up with all these sayings. But you're young to come up with this. You've got 3 relatively young kids, you're raising a family, to come up with this amazing thought, which is true. If everyone, you know, there's this old Jewish saying, right? If you put probably Puerto Rican too, you're going to tell me. If you put everyone's laundry out in the street and you look at what it is, you're going to take yours back because you realize you can deal with what you've got and you can't deal with anybody else's. Yes? No. You're going to tell me it's garbage. Right? There's this whole saying that if you were to take all your laundry and you put it out or you hang it on the line, whatever you want to do back in the day,
I love
yours
this. First of all, the grass is longer.
Longer.
Rashad, you heard this?
Before, it's not better, it's just different.
Rashad, you heard this? The grass is longer. not there is no grass, it's just longer.
Everyone has
so
grass.
You get lost.
It sounds unkempt.
Needs to be mowed.
Not
But
maintenance.
seriously,
It's funny when I grew up in the Bronx, there was no grass. The cement was longer. And then about clothes, we used to put our clothes. You ever seen an apartment building with the clothes?
You hang it on the line, right? Well,
Yeah.
that's it.
And I always asked my father, how did you get the line across? Because that was another building, it wasn't ours. How'd you get it over there? Oh, you tell the guy, listen, here, you throw it and you run it.
That's it. So if you
So
put
you're
your
gonna hang
laundry
your
out,
clothes?
you hang your clothes out
You
to
hang your
dry.
clothes?
You
Yep.
hang your clothes out to dry.
And what happens?
And you know what? You look at somebody else's and you realize you'd rather take your laundry back in than somebody else's dirty laundry. Debbie shaking her head.
Yeah, well, I wanted
Does
to
that
ask.
make sense to you?
That doesn't make sense to
Dr.
me.
Kim, does it make sense to you?
A little bit.
A little bit. You're being nice. It makes no
I am
sense.
being
Hey,
nice.
Reed, does it
Clothes?
make sense to you?
Clothes are
it make
washed. They're not
sense?
dirty. He's eating.
He normally just says yes. I can normally count on Reed for a yes.
Not when he's eating. How is those? So let me get this. So you hang out your dirty laundry,
Yes.
not your clean laundry.
Whatever you're
This
hanging
is what's
out.
confusing us.
Whatever you're hanging out, you're putting out your mess.
Putting out your
You're
mess.
putting out your mess. You're
Word
putting
to the
out-
wise. Do
Don't
not
put your
hang
mess
your
out.
dirty laundry.
Don't put
I don't
it
think
out.
that's what she's talking about. I think if you got clean laundry, you can hang that out. Right?
Bottom line is, be grateful for what you got.
That's true. And there you go. That's exactly what it is.
Right? The
What I-
bottom line is, be thankful for what you have and grateful for what you got.
What I like is the fact that you not only do it yourself, you have everybody else come in and contribute. Which is, if we have more of that today, the world will be a better place. It looks like everybody starts out and they think about what they can do, and it's all about them. And there isn't too many I's in the word team, right? And all of a sudden, this concept about what you do, people are attracted to it because it's a pretty good idea. You know, when I was growing up, that's what they taught us. That's why things are different with the millennials today. And I'm sorry, I got 2. My sons and my daughters are all different because they think in this liberal way of it's about me and doing what I do and what have you. So it's refreshing to see that maybe the concept is changing, yes?
And we all want connection. The key in everything in life is connection. And yet we're separated. We're each doing our own thing. When we find that connection, we find the missing piece of the puzzle. And when we're able to put it together and nurture each other's gift, I think of the example of even the light bulb. Like, we're all grateful, right, that Edison created the light bulb. If it wasn't there, I mean, his success is our success. So everybody, each one of us, when we add our piece of the puzzle and we're successful at what we're doing, we're adding something to the world. We're making this world a better place. And it's all about us contributing to this world, to this planet, and to future generations, they can walk a better path because of what we've done in this world. So it's our job as we walk through this journey to lean on each other, to be there for each other, and to help each other grow. And when we win, we all win together. I don't win if you don't win. We all win because we help each other grow. And that's the beauty, and that's what makes it a beautiful life.
Now, what do you do when you run into somebody who, they come to the program to see if they can change their ways, but ultimately you can tell, and you and I know people in the business, ultimately they try and they just can't be a team player. Not everybody plays nice in the sandbox, right? I mean, it's happened to all of us, right? What do? Do you sort of say, okay, you know what, I'm going to shy away from this person, or do you continue to work with them? Do you show patience? Well, I mean, how do you approach that?
I believe choosing is very important. I believe you have to choose people that empower you. You don't want to be around negative people. You send them love and light. That doesn't mean that you have to have somebody who drains you. So it's also having your own boundaries in life. You can love people, you give as much as you can, but then if somebody is not doing their own work, you can't do the work for them. You can bring a horse to water, you can't make him drink, right? So all we could do is our work. We're only responsible for ourselves. If each person in this world does their part, what a beautiful world it would be. It's just each of us doing our part, and that's what matters. It's not about what anyone else is doing. We can't change. We can be a good example of love and light. We can't bring on their love and light. We can only be responsible for what we do. And that's what I'm all about, is us creating, each person creating their light, turning on their light, and creating the connections to others.
What does that mean, turning on your light? Because we tell people all the time, and Deb will attest, that you have to love yourself first. You have to put the air mask on you before you can help others.
It's an air mask. Another one. She's
being-
thinking all these
on the
metaphors
plane,
today.
yeah. On the plane,
We're
you're on a
flying,
plane.
where grass is tall,
We're doing grocery shopping.
laundry's
we're putting
dirty.
laundry, we're taking out the garbage.
Today we're sucking down oxygen at 7:47.
You have to put on your oxygen mask
No
first.
one brings that out in people, honestly.
She does.
bring it
She's
out.
become a giant metaphor.
In this beautiful way.
But you have to, and you and I, we all talk about this, you have to love yourself first before you can give to others. And you sit and say, everyone has their love and light, and Freddy says all the time, do you love yourself? Do you love yourself unconditionally? What does that mean to you, and how do you share with your family, with your larger family?
For me, it just means that part of loving yourself, it's been a long journey for me just to get to a place where I really love myself, because I had a lot of my own things to overcome. That's the beautiful thing, is that we get to grow and we get to learn. And it's not about being perfect all the time. It's about forgiving yourself and saying, it's okay, I'm going to do better next time. I forgive myself. I think the biggest part is to keep forgiving ourselves. Because if we don't forgive ourselves, we can't feel good about ourselves. The faster you can forgive yourself, the faster you can forgive others. The more you love yourself, the more you can love others. The more you give to yourself, the more you can give to others. So everything's a mirror of what we do.
So what are we forgiving ourselves for?
Anything, whether you scream at your kids, you get angry, you have a negative conversation in your head that and it doesn't serve you. You know, and I tell my conversation sometimes, you have these inner struggles, right? And you'll be like, I'll say, okay, thank you for sharing, but I know it's not the truth. And then I'll move on. So not getting stuck, saying, okay, thank you for sharing. My mind is saying one thing, but I choose this because this is the better path. This is the happier path. And it's important to be true to yourself, to be an authentic person, to be in your truth, and to come from love and light, to come from love, to want the best for others, to want everybody to succeed is really helps you succeed. The reason I am where I am today is because I'm always everybody's cheerleader. I am everybody's cheerleader. I want everybody to win. I'll share any information I have with every person I can because I love people.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. But I'm going to go another way. It's a whole conversation. That takes my conversations in my head to a whole nother level.
I'm afraid to say where you're going now.
I'm going on a plane. We're going to go to Bora Bora next.
Bora
Thank you
Bora?
for sharing.
Thank you
I'm
for sharing.
going another direction.
You'll probably get on the wrong plane. Okay, so you brought a guest here today.
Yes, I'm so grateful.
And let's introduce the guest so we can get him involved in the conversation.
Yes, this is Dr. Kim Potter. We got connected through Facebook. I'm so grateful for our connection. He spoke at my group Conscious Co-op, which we do once a month. It's a luncheon at the Farmer Table, Wyndham Hotel. And he spoke there last month. And he's a behaviorist. He's all about really changing human behavior. He's done a lot of studying. He's got a PhD, and he'll tell you more about himself.
Welcome, Dr. Kim.
Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
here.
And
Nice-
Noah
nice
says,
setup.
thank you
Yeah.
that you reached out to her.
We met on Facebook and she mentioned, why don't you come down to my group, Conscious Co-op? And to be blunt, I've been to so many of these groups and they generally don't stay around. They don't have any organization, typically. And I went against the grain, went down there and have been impressed with the movement and this lady ever since. Conscious Co-op is going to do something. It is going to get there. And basically we had a conversation, is what can I do? And we discussed and we came up with a workshop, which I'm donating my time for a whole day workshop. Now to clarify, I'm a cellular behaviorist, which is not cognitive. I have little interest in what people do. They can tell me all along what they do, but It's why we do things I'm interested in. And the way that we absorb our behavior is at a survival rate, our survival instinct. And our survival instinct will lead us into things like drug addiction, relationships that don't serve us, emotional addiction. All emotions are addicted feelings. If we keep finding ourselves getting angry or frustrated, it's a format of an addiction. And I guarantee you, under every external addiction is an internal addiction. So I work with core behavior, which is non-cellular, it's non-language. I'm Asperger's myself, so my strength is non-verbal. So I learned this working with endangered species of animals and humans, and now just work with human beings one-on-one, typically for days. My days are 8, 10, 12, 14-hour days, and we're going to put all this information into a day's workshop to explain to everybody how the brain works, how epigenetics has influenced our behavior. So the behavior we want to change now is genetic. It's not a case of changing your mind, I want this, I want that. It has a genetic base. And that's why it's so, so difficult to change. But if we learn to how we learned it in early years, we can re-stimulate the process of the brain and relearn that process, and it changes everything.
So you're changing the how as opposed to the choice.
Yes.
Well, give me an example of something that we learned that we can change.
What are you good at? What are you
Oh,
good
God.
Not cooking.
at? What about any emotions?
Loving.
Okay. What about the challenges in your life?
Sure.
Do you overthink?
Always.
Okay, so you're really good at overthinking.
I'm really good at overthinking.
So I would say
I'm proud of it.
I would say that anxiety.
I'm
could be
really good
part
with
of
that
it.
too.
Okay, but it's a part of your life. Now, when we say we're really good at it,
I have a lot of it.
Somebody may come in and say, "Well, I'm angry." Well, that's what you're good at. It's your brain is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Now, if you could slow down your thinking, because I think you've realized your first thought is probably more accurate than the ongoing thought for hours and days. If we could stop that, we would sleep better. We'd be more relaxed. The anxiety would fall away. So we look at that as a gift. That's what you're good at. Now, why do you do that? Now, cooking, carpentry, a mechanic, loving, has nothing to do with what I do. I work with just challenges. So we complement it. So somebody may be depressed. So they're good at getting depressed. And when we start to expand on that, we will find that we bring people into our life to engage in that behavior. Now, it is a format of addiction. Because we can't put a value on it, because we can't hold it in our hand, it's the part that's missed. Now, most cancer is looked at as underlying emotional conditioning that has not been resolved. Now remember, it has a genetic factor. That's what a lot of people is. You don't change your mind. You have to re-stimulate the epigenetic stimulation that created this in the first place.
Epigenetics, everyone is talking. That is the hot word these days, epigenetics.
I've been involved with epigenetics now for coming close to 30 years.
Can you explain what epigenetics is?
Epigenetics is individualism. You mentioned you have children, Noah has children. I think you agree they're all individuals.
Mm-hmm.
If it was purely down to inherited genes, we would be a very similar herd. We would look the same, we would act the same, but we're individuals. So epigenetic is the stimulation on the gene. It's methylated chemicals that are implanted on the gene, and that controls, just like a light switch or a dimmer, to how that genetic influence comes into your life. So the underlying is epigenetics, then we turn feelings, which are tools to navigate the environment. Once they become addictive, now they're emotions, and emotions are repetitive. There's no goal to work through the situation. We just rotate, rotate, rotate. So epigenetics is huge. Now, a woman that receives a donated egg and sperm now is understood to have more influence on that child than the adults that donated. Now that's amazing. That blows everything.
Because
we
it
thought
takes
we knew.
away the gene concept.
So it's the nurture over
Exactly.
nature.
Well, then you're changing, well, if you listen to what he's saying, is that you have genes that your behavior is implanted in your genes.
Well, I can tell you for sure you take on traits that you watch, whether your parents have high anxiety, addiction, as we commonly call it, addiction, not even what you're talking about, and then are we predisposed by our genetics? But then we can change those behaviors, is what you're saying.
If you know
Yes,
how.
But our intelligence gets in the way. If I may run a little riddle very quick, we have 3 people, so it's perfect. You come to my lovely setup here, and which you do every other day, and the 3 of you walk in with a $10 bill in your pocket. Okay, now I'm going to...
That ain't me, but okay.
So
I'll loan you one.
pay attention here,
It's a good
okay? So the 3 of you order soup and salad, and the total bill for the 3 of you is $25. Noah puts her $10 on the table, so do you, and so do you. I take the $30 to the cash register, I ring up $25, and I bring 5 $1 bills to you. So if we account, 5 and 25 is 30. Now I'm going to mislead you. This person, Noah, came in with $10, she put $10 on the table. I want you to give her $1 back so she leaves with $1. How much has she paid?
$9.
Leaving $4 in front of you, right? Give this gentleman $1 back. How much has he paid?
$9.
Leaving 3. Give yourself $1 back. How much have you paid?
9.
Leaving 2. Now in life, we continue. We think that calculation is correct. Well, I've resolved this situation. It's because of him, her, da. Is there a problem with that calculation? With
Yeah.
$2 on the table?
Yes, because 9 times 3 is 27. And
two?
27 is 2 is 29. So there's $1 somewhere
Well, where did it go?
gone. Where did it go?
Well, it's
That's
a
how-
mathematical quadri.
That's how we can't work out our own behavior, because we're not using our brain correctly. And we fool ourselves every single time, and we're not aware of it.
Because we overthink.
Well, each person got $1. So you're
He's
at
back
minus
on
27.
You're gonna leave us all day.
What I would do is say, leave the $5 for the tip, but that was just me.
That's just
But it's interesting because 9 times 3 is 27, and there's 3 of us, so of course that leaves a remainder of 3. That's really where it's gone. But it goes,
left over from the
$2
bar.
left over.
Yeah.
$2 are left over, but it's 9 times 3 is 27, right? So there should be $3.
And
Yeah.
the reason we can do this, if you were to look at the ceiling, the floor behind you around, I could predict what you'll miss in this room. And I'll tell you what you missed. Do you know what you missed?
What?
Make sure you look around.
Okay.
You got everything?
Probably not. but-
Using our consciousness, it's impossible to evaluate ourselves. Absolutely
That's true.
impossible.
That is true.
I'll buy
So
that.
because we got that void, it's very deceptive presentation in that riddle. I utilize that we can't see ourselves. And I've developed that little riddle just to show our intelligence misleads us. And we've got to find the missing dollar in our lives. And once we do, now we can actually start to adjust.
Fascinating. This is what you're doing on Sunday.
This is what I'm doing on Sunday.
And it's a full day workshop, you said, Noah.
And
Yes.
it's not for entertainment. This is real. People will come in and leave with tools that they can ultimately change most things in their life.
At what time and where is this taking place?
It's going to be at Harvest Grill in Delray. It's from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's really 9 hours, but it's an hour for lunch. And the cost is $189 for the workshop, and you're getting so much more than the workshop. You're getting
$300 of programs I've created which work. These are workable programs that have been researched now for over 17 years, and they are actually working around the world. So they get an incredible value. And I say, all this is about Conscious Co-op, to assist in any way I can to get this movement going, because it needs to get out there.
What about Conscious Co-op? Do you find so intriguing that you feel of all these workshops and places you've gone, this has legs?
The quality of people, the lack of ego, the amount of people that they will share. It's not all about me, me, me. There's some individuals that I'd wanted to meet, and I walked in and there they were. So it's the quality of people, the consistency, the environment. There's everything about this. and it's growing rapidly, and the big challenge is to get it to the next step, beyond Boca, down into Miami, Fort Lauderdale, maybe up to Tampa, Orlando, and whatever I can do to assist that, I will assist it.
I got a couple of questions. How quickly does the program is going to be in place, and the longevity of it? In our business, longevity is everything. So
The
someone
program or
go,
people being able to make the changes?
well, the changes, the program. If you're buying into this program, you'll be
When-
sitting there for a few hours.
When I have the opportunity to share time with an individual, you think of, let's base it on a 10-hour day.
Okay.
And I may do four days, so that's 40 hours. I learn a lot about that individual, and historically, I remain in contact with the individual for decades. So there's individuals that I know of over 20 years ago. So I can evaluate where they were then and where they are now. And results is very difficult to calibrate, but if they're not addicts anymore, they've changed, altered their relationship, changed their profession, I think they've changed.
Absolutely. Now, they get to stay with you after the program is ended. They get to continue to use you for guidance.
I communicate
Okay.
all the time. Most of the time I'm driving, I'm on the phone. I work with a lot on the West Coast, so I'm not, it's their fault, they don't know where I'm based.
Right.
So I'm getting calls 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. But I open that door and I learn so much from listening to people. I read body language. So I've been watching everybody in here. You interest me.
Uh-oh.
You really do. You have a,
Who, Steven?
Steven?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's-
He's got something he's hiding. That's good. So the talents is going to bubble out of him.
Don't.
And you know what I'm talking about? You have a talent, right?
Who, Steven?
Steven?
This one, Steve.
Talent?
A
A talent.
He has a hitting talent.
I don't really think so.
You need to start to look at yourself, because I think you do.
Well, that's the other thing I was going to ask you. Millennials, as opposed to Gen X, with the program, millennials are a different. It's changed. The breed has changed. Stephen, Reed to a certain extent as well. Don't look at Rastaman with it, because he's as old as me. But the millennials. See, now it's going to bother him because I'm 10 years older than him. So here we go. But the change in age and is the program work the same for the change in age with a millennial as opposed to somebody as
Yes,
old
sir,
as I
it's
am?
individual. I look at our behavior as cellular as robotic. And if we realistically think that a robot can respond beyond its programming, it's ridiculous, right?
Right.
Well, we think we're different. We're really not. We are robots. A core behavior is, we know what we're going to do. And we have to learn the individual. Now, there's nothing I can do. Nothing. It's all up to the individual. That's the only individual that can help ourselves, is ourselves. And because of the missing dollar concept, we've never had a good evaluation of who we are. And if we don't have a good evaluation of who we are, where's the base to start
Yeah,
from?
opens up a lot
There is
of
no base.
question. Yeah, no, I can see
We
that.
keep on building a house on a faulty
Yeah.
foundation, and we wonder why the walls keep cracking. Well, work with the foundation. How do you do that? That's what I teach.
It's amazing because how many times have we met people and says, the foundation needs, it all begins with oneself. And I guess the example that he has put together sort of explains that lack of, that missing piece, that divot. A lot of people have a difficult time with mirrors and looking at oneself and saying, maybe there is room for change. A lot of people find that scary. I mean, BB behind me became crazy because I say he's the same age as me, even though we're in the same age group. I'm older than you, yes, I am. But he's not a millennial.
So somebody looking in the mirror, telling themselves, I can do this, is actually stimulating the very reason they have to look in the mirror. They have a fear of not being able to do.
That's right.
So that person is good of denial, of not recognizing that they feel they have a weakness. And they are actually stimulating more of it by going the opposing way. What we resist persists. So they should come down. It's like, I'm really good at doing this and letting myself down. Well, how do you do that?
Well, let me ask you a question. If you can get them to pick up a mirror, isn't that half the battle? A lot of people won't. They'll say, no, I don't want to do that.
No, because it's still sensory.
It is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that the message comes from one who says, I won't, as opposed to, yeah, I can do that, and they do. It isn't the message at the end of the game, it's the message during the game.
But if
so.
you look at the way he's looking at it, I am really good at overthinking. I am really good at you telling me something good and someone else telling me the same situation. We had this 2 weeks ago. Same situation. You came in happy, someone else came in very upset. Same situation, same exact thing, two sides of the coin. I could have believed your side, where everything was fine, or I could have believed theirs, where it was catastrophic. Which path did I choose? I went the other side, thinking
What side
this
did you
could be
pick?
potentially catastrophic, because they had me so believing, because you are the eternal optimist.
But hold on, it isn't they had you so believing.
Well, right, so for me,
It's you.
I'm really good at taking that situation and growing a mountain into a molehill into a
We're
mountain.
back to that again.
But that's what I'm really good at, and the anxiety that comes with it. I know that is like a strength.
Well,
I can't tell you
everything that
the
comes with
strength.
it, let's not talk about, because that can go in 100 different
So
directions.
with me looking in a mirror isn't going to change.
So what is
What
it
I
you
do
need?
with that.
You need that situation. So you are part of that situation, so you can utilize your brain at that addictive level. So you are a part of the trigger system. Your brain will go, aha.
And they knew that.
Another situation coming, let me get, what can I do to assist it so I can get this bigger and bigger. And how do you feel at the end of that?
So much anxiety, I can't breathe.
Well, isn't it strange we picked up overthinking and anxiety right at the beginning?
Yes,
That's what you can read from body language. And I've never met you before.
right?
Noah told me everything. actually.
She overthinks her crazy body language.
She didn't. So
Full of
you
anxiety.
can learn a lot. You would find it very difficult not to have something in your hand. Just put your hands. flat.
Oh, that's another story,
that's
Doc.
why I said like
That's
that,
another.
right?
That's another story, Doc. That had to do with somebody told her not to use her hands. That's a different story.
Mhm.
So now she uses it constantly, which is part of what we do. But the object of the game here, that you remember, I don't even remember that whole deal. I don't know who you've been talking about. But the object to me
Yes,
is
we were
if
talking about it this morning.
I always am around negative people.
But you are always positive.
I am me. That's your perception. I think
Maybe.
I think that negative doesn't get me anywhere. I can always be depressed, angry, anxious, and it doesn't get me anywhere. I don't do that anymore. I used to, but I don't. I don't get depressed or angry anymore. It doesn't make any sense. There's no value to it. Do I sometimes, when you tell me we're going to do a shoot, we have nobody to help us, do I have anxiety?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because of the circumstance, not because of the gig. So I don't even remember that example.
But yeah, I think about it, and I know so many people that are single, and they're on social media to try to meet a significant other. And they're swiping left, they're swiping right. What's wrong with me? Why don't they want to be with me?
Oh my goodness gracious.
But am I right? This is it. And I see so many, and this is not only the millennial mindset, there are people that have gotten divorced and they're single, and they think it's all their fault while they're alone. So many that could benefit from your workshop on Sunday to change that mindset that it's your perception, I suppose, that we can work on.
The only person you can change is yourself.
That's right.
Right?
But because of the way we use our consciousness, we've already pointed out, we miss ourselves out, and that equates for the missing dollar. That creates a void. That allows us to make a story up of who we perceive we are. And it gives us a level of comfort. It has nothing whatsoever to adjust the unlearned behaviors.
It's what you're used to.
It's what you're conditioned to.
So
It's your survival
what time is it on Sunday?
It starts at 10 a.m. to 8 to 7 p.m.
How can people
It's hard to
register?
go- Yeah, that's what I want to say. So you can go to my website, noahcrane.com, under shop for Blueprints for Changes. That's the name of his website. You can look him up, Dr. Kim Potter, Blueprints for Changes, and you can sign up on my website. It's $189 for the workshop. Includes your lunch, your snacks, a great intimate space with amazing people, with Dr. Kim, which is incredible to be around this man. I'm so grateful. It's going to be an amazing workshop. You'll walk away really empowered with a full cup and tools to take into your life and really use and create a lot of happiness everywhere you go.
Have you taken any of Dr. Kim's workshops?
No, I haven't yet, but I've listened to some of his programs. and it's amazing. That just the whole how he divides everything up. It's a totally different way of looking at your life.
What do you
so
think?
I'm excited about the
Because
workshop.
you have your way. The grass is greenest where you are, so you're
Right.
positive now.
I am, but for me, life is growth. I just want to grow every day. Well, how can I learn? How can I expand? How can I grow? Here's another opportunity for me to grow. I jump in. Like, that's who I am. I am like, the more tools I have, the more I can grow, the more I can expand myself, the better I'm going to be able to bring it to others and bring it to my family and bring it to the people I love and make everything better in this world. So I'm all into, if you have something to give me, it's a gift. I take it and I run. I take the ball and run. I want to get it all. I really do.
You know, I'm anxious to ask Deb,
Deb.
what your perception of this whole thing is.
Well, I met Dr. Kim. This is the third time I've been around Dr. Tim, and I'm Dr. Kim. I'm sorry. I'm very intrigued and very interested, and I really wanted to go Sunday, but unfortunately, we have a funeral. We have a celebration of life for, as you know, Noah.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that he's going to do another one. But yeah, I had a few little talks with him in the parking lot, Sonny and I, with him. So.
Did you take the program?
No, I didn't. No. I'd like to, though. I'd like to.
What do you think about what he's saying?
I think he's spot on.
What happened in the parking lot?
What happened in the parking lot?
Well, we were talking about something, and do you want to say it? Do you want me to say it?
Well, somebody say it, because you brought it up.
Oh, we were talking about my friend who got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, my girlfriend from high school, my best friend. And Dr. Kim was talking to him, and he said, so, what does it have to do with you? I'm really sad, and so what does it have to do with you? So he was kind of pointing me and thinking about what was going on. So
Well, how'd you answer him? That's a good
Right.
question.
I didn't answer. Did I answer, Dr. Kim? I don't remember. We had a few, what did I say? Go ahead.
I'm not saying anything.
Well, he's not going to say anything now because you brought up the subject, but Doc, if she would have said something like,
Weren't we talking about some health condition?
Yes, we were talking about my thyroid too.
And why that was happening?
Yes.
And then we put the two together, didn't we?
Yep.
no, she's not telling us the whole story. Okay, all right. You don't have to.
yeah.
You don't have to.
No,
That's
no,
okay.
it's okay. I'm just dealing with weight gain and thyroid. They can get my medicine straight, and I was frustrated with that. And talking with Sonny and Dr. Kim, and we talked about it.
Well, people who, you talked about cancer earlier in the show, and people who have chronic disease, and it's almost a little bit what we spoke to Dr. Carlos about when he was here.
Yes.
And sometimes
Well,
what
that
he's
would be
saying-
an interesting conversation.
Right? Wouldn't that be an interesting conversation? And sometimes the epigenetics of it is not only the biological, but maybe our parents, our grandparents, someone brought forward this issue that has now manifested into another generation in a physical form.
Well, I'll share something personal. I had an older brother when I was young. This was kept as like a family secret. And unfortunately, when he was 6 months old, my mother took my father's car out and had a one-car wreck, and he was killed at 6 months. This was kept quiet. I was the person that dug it up, like went back into memory. So there was a fear that she would lose me. And this has happened so many times, and I will share. Last October of last year, I was approved for a heart replacement. I succumbed to a virus called the Coxsackie virus in ECU for 2 weeks, and they started to prepare to move me. And I was asking why it's been transferred, and they said, well, you've been approved down in Miami for an organ transplant. Well, just to show my reality was something completely different. I said, may I ask what organ you're going to replace? And they said, you're down for a heart replacement. And I said, no, I don't think so. And they said, well, we're not kidding. And I said, nor am I. I'm saying no. 48 hours later, all the doctors came into my room, and I thought, here we go, I'm going to get my arm twisted. Apparently, I started to make a full recovery. 3 days later, I'm released. No surgery, nothing. So I survived my birth. My mother thought that I was going to succumb. So the logic is that I would survive this, and I believed in behaviorism. And I was telling them all the way through there was nothing wrong with me. And they're like, you don't understand. It's like, no, listen to me. There's nothing wrong with me. There is nothing wrong with me. So the mind is a very powerful tool, and if we learn how to use it, we can overpower a lot more than we could ever imagine.
It's true.
Fascinating. It's so much with Dr. Carlos and everything we talk about, right? And the disease states, and how you had said when people are diagnosed with something, 6 months later, they can be terminal.
No, it's
Or
funny because
you change your mindset.
well, you go
and
into the
suddenly
hospital
fine.
and there's nothing wrong with you, and they find out you need a heart transplant, and the next thing you know, you're sick, and you were fine before you walked in,
Right.
right? I mean, I went and I had an exam, a heart exam, 3 weeks ago, and she found something. I said, no, you didn't. She says, yes, I did. I need you to come back and take more tests. I said, I'm going to do it and take the test. I'm going to tell you, you're going to find nothing. And I had the test 2 days ago or a day ago. She didn't find nothing.
That's awesome.
And I said to her, you want to keep looking? I'll stay here as long as you want, because you're not going to find nothing.
And what she said to you, how'd you do this in 2
She
weeks?
says, how'd you do this in 2 weeks? I said, how'd I do this in 2 weeks? I said, Doc, and she's a great doctor. She's the best. She found Linda's problem, everything else. I said, Doc, I know me, and there ain't nothing wrong with it. That was something on your machines went whoop, and that's what they were looking for, and they didn't find it. Now, that doesn't mean that tomorrow I don't wake up with a heart attack and boom, boom, boom. It does happen. My brother, I lost my older brother to a heart attack in the movie theater. It does happen. But that's not where my mind is at. So I can appreciate what you're saying. I'm just a little surprised that they said you need a heart transplant. They let up, this was shipping you out to get one, and there was no lead up to this thing. Well, what are you talking about? You know,
Well,
it's
look
just.
what happened with your dad.
That was a lead up.
Oh, there was a lead up. Okay.
I was in
Okay.
intensive care for 2 weeks total.
Okay.
So obviously there was a lead up, but my reality, I had no fear, no concern that everything was going to be okay. We got to recognize that placebo is a recognized force
Right.
at every level. Individuals that have been told that they've been tested with a placebo, a $20 placebo is always more effective than a $5 placebo. Even though we've been told we can still be manipulated.
Yeah.
And trust me, we are being manipulated.
Yeah. Yeah. My dad had blood clots in his lungs, the whole lung, both of them, saddle lung condition. He went in because he had bad stomach cramps, and I took him in, and he's 87 now, and they can't figure out how it got to his lungs, because apparently it must have gone through the heart, and they don't know why he's alive. So the doctors, all 35 of them, came and saw me one day and says, you know what? Let's just leave him alone. Let's not do nothing. Let's just send him home. He's in no pain. My father works like a beast. He's 87. He's fixing his roof in Puerto Rico right now.
Wow.
And they said, leave him alone. And we still don't know why or how. And they said, we don't care. Just move it on. So it happens, you know.
It's amazing. Noah, you've brought such an amazing guest forward, and I know this is all part of Conscious Co-op. So let's talk about Conscious Co-op
Yes.
and your show tonight.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Conscious Co-op, the next event is April 27th.
Yes, April 27th. It's at the Wyndham Hotel in Boca Raton. Lunch is from 11:30 to 2. And you can register again at noahcrane.com under Conscious Co-op.
Excellent.
And people want to know why it's not a networking event.
Well, it is.
But it's different.
It's different because I didn't build it around a networking. I built it around community and connection. But when we find each other, we automatically network. I've been to networking events, and I felt like you're sitting at a table with a bunch of people you don't know, and then everybody's like holding their business card in their hand, and they're in this scarcity mode of like, who can I give it to? Who can I pass it on to? And I never wanted that. I wanted it like, I went to these networking events saying, whoever I'm supposed to meet, it'll just happen naturally. Like, I'll just be sitting next to them. It'll be the right thing. I don't have to be in scarcity about thinking, oh my God, am I going to network with 100 people? It doesn't matter. So when you come in from that space of just wanting to connect rather than being attached to who you give your card to, your business card, it's a whole different energy. You're bringing in a whole different energy. And that energy brings you to the right people. So it's all about the energies we put out in the world are the right energies to connect us to the right people. And that's what I'm about. People find each other in Conscious Co-op. We have a table set up where people can put their business information. And people, I can't even get people to get up, and it's a beautiful buffet set up in the ballroom. We're on the second floor at the Wyndham Hotel at the ballroom. I can't even get people to come and eat because everybody's so busy talking with each other. It's just like it's an instant, great connection energy as soon as you walk in the room. People are just excited to find each other, to be in each other's presence. So there's not this scarcity mode around who can I give my business card to. It's about like, oh wow, I'm with this amazing people in this amazing room. This is exciting. I can really, you know, find my people. I can really connect to amazing people. And it just, the connections there are priceless. They really are.
And tell us about tonight's show. It's the debut.
Yes.
At 7 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, so tonight I will be with Dr. Kim again. We'll be talking more about the workshop that we have coming up. And we're very excited and just helping people just connect to us and connect to what we're doing in the world and just bringing our light and love to everyone tonight. So I'm so excited. It's the first day. There's great things ahead. You're never at the wrong place. It's just you're exactly where you need to be at all times. And I'm stepping into something bigger, and I'm really excited about it. I feel like the universe is supporting me. I'm exactly where I need to be. I'm doing the work, and I'm excited. I'm very excited. I hope you join me tonight. I'm really excited to be with you all.
And that's how we met you in just a week's time, Deb. Look, you brought her.
Yes.
I don't even know if it was a week ago.
Thank you, Debbie.
And I kept
love you.
seeing Noah on Facebook and following her, and I thought I
Noah.
really want to meet this woman. And I didn't understand what Conscious Co-op was. I told you I thought it was where you buy organic vegetables and everyone short his shares in the food co-op.
Yeah.
And Deb kept missing our show on certain Fridays to go to Conscious
Right.
Co-op.
Yes.
And I thought, I got to
Past few
find that
months.
out what it is, right? And then she said, come forward, and you came, and it all just sort of evolved, and our show shifted on a dime in 5 minutes, and she picks it up. So
So
truly,
amazing.
things definitely are in alignment with that energy.
Well, there's that growth. I mean, I was reading some of her stuff because I'm an admin now to do the production, and it's just a steady growth. And it's kind of nice when things sort of come together, right?
Yes.
And you have the opportunity to see how you've come from A and you're at C and you're headed to F and G, and it's a nice piece.
What do you always say? We walk in faith.
I walk in faith. I wanted to ask Rashad. Rashad, then you've been hearing the conversation, and you got Steven next to you, and you guys are two different age groups. What do you think about what you heard today?
Believe it or not, I've been living this for like the last month. I've had some situations come about where I've really been in tune and just listening to the universe. For instance, me being here is not a by chance. I'm 40 years old and I took an internship.
Oh, he's only 40.
I quit my job. I literally quit my job like on a whim. My wife thought I was completely out of my mind. But, you know, and I've been in insurance pretty much for the last 10, 12 years. Managed, trained, sales trainer. And I just got fed up one day and walked into my boss's office and said, I quit. He goes, well, you want to talk about this? I was like, no. He's like, well, are you given 2 weeks? I said, no, I'm done right now at lunch. And I went home. And the very next day, well, about 2 days later is when I went online and I was about to start looking for a job. And I finally said, you know what, I'm tired of insurance, I really am. I'm tired of it. Why am I going to work somewhere just to get a paycheck? And I'm not enjoying my life. I'm going to a place and I feel like a robot and I'm stuck there for 10, 12 hours and I absolutely hate my life.
And you called us.
And
He
I
called,
called you
yeah.
guys.
He
I
called as
you
opposed
guys.
to do it the other way.
And I started looking online for things that I enjoyed doing, which is entertainment, radio, television.
That's awesome.
And it led me to you, and instead of going through the process of sending out resumes and all this stuff, I just took the back door and found you and called you up. And it's led me to this moment right here, and I was able to be a part of a lot of great things you guys have been a part of, including Pam's amazing event out there in Boca, which was an absolute phenomenal thing for me. So
That was a monster. That was a
and
monster.
every bit of it has helped me grow as a person as we go along. Actually, after here, I'm meeting with a person that's a motivational speaker, and we're going to be working on some workshops as well. So there's a lot of good movement in life, and I believe that everything happens for a purpose.
He's even interviewed some guests on his own segment of Tell Us Your
Tell Us
Biz.
Your Biz, yep.
So he's done that one. Those numbers are done really, really
But
well.
it's true, because if you would put out a resume that you've been in insurance for 20 years, and I would have looked at it, and I'd be like, oh, what's he going to do with us? And he's been out for 20 years. It probably wouldn't. We'd have probably never even called, because
Yeah,
we
but I
thought
was-
you're overqualified. It didn't make sense.
But I was in insurance for 15 years.
Yeah, but you don't read through the ads.
I don't.
I know.
I don't read through the
Do
ads.
that.
I have no idea what Steven does. But I said, Steven, come, and he came, and I said, Steven, you want to work together? Work together. What about Reed? I don't even know Reed's resume, what it looks like.
No idea.
I know he likes to eat.
I
know that.
think we all know that.
I know that he's reliable. I can
He's
tell you
reliable.
that.
He's always on a gig. He's great.
I mean, and he's always there. You know, you can, and the same thing with Rashad. I can never remember the name Rashad because I'm bad with names, so I call him everything: BB, AB, AC, EF, whatever.
But you give everybody nicknames, so
I
is that
do.
why?
I do. I gave you patches.
Where's mine?
What?
What's yours?
You'll
don't
get
have
one.
one.
You'll get one.
You ain't been here. You're the ghost. You ain't been here long enough yet.
I need a new one. I'm afraid what he's going to give me now.
Your nickname? And we'll tell on the 1 o'clock hour. Pam Polani's going to reveal her nickname. Stay tuned. Wait, our viewership is going to skyrocket now.
Wow, I'm kind of interested to know that too. I didn't know she had one. Okay,
I don't either.
but
Steve, what do you think?
No, it's cool. Like I've always believed in like the universe and letting things flow. So it's cool to see someone who has a PhD talk about it instead of me, like talking to other people and they thinking like I'm crazy or I'm just talking nonsense.
But do you do that, Steve? Do you talk about the universe?
Well, when people come and talk to me and they talk about religion and stuff, I talk about like I believe in energy. What you throw out is what you get. So like coming out of school, my mother has always been like, "Oh, you're not gonna find a job." Like Florida's not that big on entertainment because I went to school for all of this, like video, sound, and everything. And I self-taught myself a bunch of stuff. So when I first got this gig, I was doing like direct TV, and like I was miserable. I was like faking a whole personality. But I got
Yeah, I
this.
remember the day you walked in, you said, I'm starting a job tomorrow. And
Yeah.
he shows up the next day. We said, what happened to your job? He goes,
I quit.
You quit.
But then I got this one, and
He
then
goes,
I got
"I
a
quit. I'm gonna
photography
stay with
job.
you."
So it was like I got what I wanted, and like all the pieces are falling
And
into
look,
place.
now we've got 2 jobs for him on Tuesdays. We got
Yeah.
Tuesday morning and Tuesday afternoons down at the
I
other
appreciate
studio.
It's just funny.
So he walked in today. He texted me, I've got a dentist appointment. I said, please come after your appointment. We have some training to do. He said, I'll save Tuesdays. And now he's got 2 jobs on Tuesdays to do.
Well, the thing about
ma'am.
about this business that you're going to learn is that the back end is one thing, the front end is another, and then there's the business end. You know, there are 3 parts to this business, and you have to be able to sell the business to grow your business. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on, and there's a good mixture here of young talent, older talent, and the fossil like me. And then you get to meet people like Deb and Pam, and all of these mixtures, and you know, and Noah coming to the boat. All of these mixtures sort of
The arc.
it sort of relates to something that you actually are preaching, you're talking about, and you're showing. Is all these different elements is what makes it magical. The ride, it just becomes, the journey is like unbelievable. It's a great feel.
Well, the conversation will continue tonight at 7 o'clock on WNN 95.3 FM 1470 AM. You will find Noah Crane live streaming on her Facebook page, Noah Crane. Dr. Kim, you'll find him on her show as well. And sign up for the seminar on Sunday at Harvest Seasonal Grill and Wine Bar from 10 until 7
PM, yeah.
p.m., $189, but it includes all the food you need, plus an amazing workshop. It'll transform and change your life.
Are you taking phone calls tonight
Yes,
on
we
the
are.
show?
Give us a
Yes.
call. Give her a call tonight, 888-565-1470. Stay tuned. We're going to swap out our set. We've got Pam Polani coming up, talking wills and estates. Talk about changing your mindset. And we'll be right back.
Awesome.
When was the last time you had a fun girls' night in? Have you heard of Pure Romance? Pure Romance by Michelle Spears offers a fun-filled presentation of our product line, followed by a unique shopping experience that you and your girlfriends will not forget. Call me, Michelle Spears, at 561-572-1901 to reserve a date for your free shopping spree, to learn about income opportunities, or shop my website at pureromance.com/MICHELLESPEARS. And remember, bring Pure Romance back into your life.
In a perfectly imperfect world, you can eat the foods you love, lose weight, and be healthy. But what if I told you you can do just that? In fact, your diet should be perfectly imperfect by eating the foods you love and still achieving your health and wellness goals. I take the guesswork out of nutrition by giving you my simple and effective strategies so that you can live the healthy and happy life you will love using real food to get real results. Schedule your nutrition consultation today at 888-84-TAMMY or visit my website, tammyfogarty.com. Don't delay, get healthy today. 888-84-TAMMY.
Ready, set, ride. Remember when you were a kid and riding a bike was pure fun? It's time to rediscover that carefree feeling again with a Pedigo electric bike. Pedigo is the #1 brand of electric bikes in America because with Pedigo, we put you and the customer service first. Pedigo electric bikes are universally fun for all ages. Choose to pedal for exercise or throttle for full assist. Give Pedigo Fort Lauderdale a call or stop in for a free bike ride. 954-652-1823. Come as you are and try a Pedigo today, where our motto is Hello Fun. 954-652-1823. Tell them the Brooklyn Cafe sent you.
Want to make your smartphone brilliant? One tap creates a virtual wine fine tuner. Another, a coffee refiner. A beauty cream and makeup enhancer.
Wow. Look at your eye.
What a
difference.
And with still just a tap, a strength and flexibility harmonizer.
Yeah, I definitely felt something different.
This is the Vitalizer. In the App Store on any smartphone, a simple download that will embed specific frequencies and vibrations into your phone's light photons and sound waves. Calibrations designed to affect taste.
The Vitalizer one is better than the other one, for sure.
Hydration, absorption, feel silkier, and perhaps most incredibly, your strength, flexibility, and energy. Amazing.
Wow. Crazy. Well, salud. I'm loving it.
Go to www.vitalizerapp.com and make your smartphone brilliant.
The Heart of Delray Gallery, located in the Delray Art Complex, is one of South Florida's top venues for art, culture, music, and private events. The Heart of Delray Gallery is a cutting-edge, 11,000 square foot art exhibition showcasing local artists and artisans with the highest quality of talent and vision, highlighting South Florida's creative arts. Visit us at the Heart of Delray Gallery, 1440 North Federal Highway in Delray Beach. Come, take a tour, book your next private event or fundraiser, or join us for Art Walk the first Friday of every month from 6 to 11 p.m. For more information, give us a call at 561-278-0074.
I was wondering.
Welcome back to the set. Yes,
Set two.
Set 2.
Hour 1. Hour 2.
Do you
1
know?
o'clock hour.
Do you know? That only one of my earplugs works because you have my good set.
You want to use them
Gotta
today?
make it- no.
I don't know why you need them though, because Pam's right here.
Because I need to hear to
What
make
do you
sure
need
that
to
we have
hear?
sound.
Do we have sound, guys?
Yes, we have sound.
Wait,
says
more
yes.
importantly, do I have sound?
Boy, and when you get up that close and personal, you're the biggest thing in life, baby. Don't be doing that now.
We got Pam Polani on our 1 o'clock hour with us. What a great
Is it
12 o'clock
Friday
hour.
yet?
Not yet, but it is somewhere in the world.
Somewhere it's got to be Friday.
How about
Australia.
that 12 o'clock show?
That was uniquely different. Yeah.
What did you think?
That was very cool.
Dr. Kim Potter we had on with Noah Crane. Stay tuned for her inaugural show tonight at 7 o'clock on WNN 95.3 FM, 1470 AM. There is an incredible, it's kind of like a change of behavioral outlook seminar Sunday from 10 until 7 p.m. at Harvest Seasonal Grill and Wine Bar. You can find information on her website at Noah Crane, also on her Facebook page. It's $189. It includes all your food, all your snacks, an incredible program. What am I really good at? Apparently I'm really good at being anxious and overthinking things. I guess that's my body language. What am I going to tell you? I don't know. And I guess I've been
I can
challenged
say
to put
nothing.
my wand down, but
I want to
put
ask
my
her what
wand
I'm
down.
really good
I'm not
at.
going to say that.
I should have asked her.
You should have asked him.
You
what
should
you're really
ask
good at.
him what you're really good at.
Oh,
But you know-
really?
Yeah.
He was the one who was
He's the
saying.
one.
He's the one, yeah.
Oh, I missed some of that.
Yeah, because you came in like 15 minutes late. But
No,
She came in
I came
15
in
minutes early.
15 minutes early.
She's early for us. She's
Yes.
It's a 12 o'clock show.
I didn't know he was coming either. I didn't know what this guy did, but it was pretty phenomenal.
I'm just very excited again. Let's re-emphasize that I was early today.
She was early.
Early,
for
not
the
just
1
on
o'clock
time.
show.
Early.
You know, you've done that twice to me in the past couple weeks. What are you doing?
It's actually one of my things that I'm working on is to be really prompt and on time because I think it's important to let people know that I go that extra mile to really be on time for them.
The first time I met Pam, we went out for dinner. It was a dinner party she invited us to, and she said, just so you know, after we got there, I'm always 30 minutes late. So now when I make reservations, I know she's going to be 30 minutes late. 2 weeks ago, we go out for dinner.
She was 30 minutes
10
early.
minutes, 10 minutes before the dinner reservations, I don't know if anybody's coming to dinner. We said, well, we'll go, but I'm thinking in my mind,
It was her
haven't heard.
birthday. It was for
my
her birthday.
Pam's always 30 minutes late. We got plenty of time. She was there early. She says, I'm here.
I already got the table
I thought you know you
together,
were
the
coming.
whole bit.
What has changed? This is the
It's
new
not,
parent?
It's not that it's changed. It's something that I've always understood and known. But showing people that you want to go that extra mile is translated in so many ways. And what I understood from a lot of my clients and a lot of my colleagues is that me being late actually bothers them. So it never really bothers me, because anytime I have to look at my phone, check my emails, is always time that I can use, right? But it actually bothered people. So I said, you know what? If it really makes a difference, it'll make people feel better, I'm going to really make an effort to be early, or at least on time.
And she look how
And I'm
beautiful
doing
she
it.
looks
I
today.
can't even say anything because I am always late.
Always.
Well, I'm trying to always make people feel good.
I'm sorry if I made you feel bad.
That's my energy, right? Today was about energy, your show earlier. And my energy is always wanting to make people feel better. I always say,
Yeah, but
when
go-
people ask me, what am I? And I say, well,
Yeah.
I'm an attorney, but what I do is make people sleep better at night, right? That's my goal, my objective.
Yeah, but you make people feel good no matter what because
You're
your
always
personality
positive,
is like nothing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh,
Always
I love
positive.
It's really cool.
Yes, well, because, I think when you go through challenges, that's what helps you. You either get to be better or you're going to be bitter. And we all know the bitters. We live in a community filled with them, unfortunately.
Hey, can somebody go and get Doc before he leaves? Because I want him to.
Oh, yes, I would love it. Please, please, please run.
Maybe she can come on the
Yes.
set tonight.
Sure,
no,
of course
I
she can come
can't.
if she
Maybe you
wants
can
to.
come on now.
If he's
Yes,
still here.
yes, if he's still
If
here.
he's
I
still
would love
here,
it.
it would be really cool because.
Well, you have somebody who has a show that I actually endorse a lot, Hallie Elise, who I
Yes.
think is wonderful.
And I shifted her. She's at 7 o'clock on Mondays now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I moved her
Oh.
because I didn't want to be there till 9 o'clock at night anymore. No, I'm only kidding. Hallie,
you should,
only
but you
kidding.
should put her on Tuesdays, because in Kabbalah, which is what she trained in, Tuesdays it's good because it was written in the Bible twice. It was good when God finished.
I gave her the
creating his
choice.
segment of the word.
I gave her the choice of Tuesday,
you?
7 on Mondays, and she picked Monday because she does something, the Hallie Elise Psychic Center or
She
something
must be
on
right.
Tuesday.
So she's doing something on Tuesdays that's very important as well. Okay.
Now, I haven't had a chance to talk to you since we did the event, and I think I saw you in
Thank you,
studio.
thank you, thank you.
What a phenomenal-
Wait. I have to give kisses.
What?
You guys are so. And
on
I'm
your
rubbing for
cappy.
luck.
She's rubbing my head.
Right on your cappy.
Wait a
And you
minute.
guys did such, your interns and you did such a phenomenal job with the production that it really took our event to the next level of professionalism. I cannot begin to say how incredible I thought you guys did.
Do you know how scary it was to know what happened to your production company last year?
Yes.
And then Freddie says, do you know what could happen if we don't do this right this year? That's what
Yes.
happened last year.
But you know what? That was yesterday. And we don't think about yesterday. We think about today and tomorrow.
But that
right?
was a phenomenal piece because it brought to light a lot of changes that we're doing now because of you.
Where's my
You did it.
camera? Where's my camera?
Oh.
Up there?
No, you're
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
There you
I
go.
was right.
You're right.
Yay! And look. Where are you guys? You got like a nice.
You
size
did. We
ad.
had a beautiful ad, and it was
You
an amazing
did.
event, and we really could not have done it without the interns.
Look at these two good-looking. Can you zoom in on that? Look at these two good-looking, gorgeous people.
It's so funny.
was fun.
David
Right?
Sahadi saw that the other night at your event, and he says, I need to do those again for you.
Yes.
David the Hottie.
Sahadi.
Sahadi.
The photographer.
He's not
David
just,
the
I
Hottie.
say, I go, he's not just a hottie, he's a good photographer too.
He says,
Well,
I'll do it.
Well, the other thing is that you had asked me about getting a certain, for next year, which is
Right.
April 12th, where we talked
Right.
about the boxing theme and things like that.
Yes.
So I have a phone number to Don Keaton's associate. And I haven't called him because I wanted you here when I do call him.
Oh,
so
you
we're
wanna
going to
call
make that
him
phone
right now?
call. No, we're going to do that on the air. We're going to
Nothing
call
like
him.
the present, Freddie.
But I'm gonna
Guess who
call-
I talked to today?
Who'd you talk to? Pam
Maria
Shriver?
Shriver.
Maria
Did
Shriver.
you?
Yes, I did. I talked to Maria Shriver's assistant today. Yay!
And?
So because we have the date already and it's an event that she's into and all that, so we're in discussions.
forward.
We're moving
Conversations.
forward, yes.
Fantastic.
I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it made me so happy, just the possibilities.
Well,
right?
the funny thing is that this gentleman who gave me this number, it happened that we went down the road and we had a conversation, and they sent me to his associate that works for him, his right hand guy or whatever. Now he was down here.
Okay.
Don, he was having dinner with the president at the
Of
island.
course he was.
And but it kept a secret. If I had known that, I probably would have set something up, and he would
I
have
would
had
have dressed
dinner
up
with
as
you.
a waitress.
Oh, he would have had dinner with you because he's like
Yeah.
that. And Don is like that.
Wow.
But the object of the game, we want to do
Notice
this.
I didn't say I'd cook for them. I'd serve them, but
No,
I wouldn't
you-
cook
you-
for them.
you'll
She's
eat
back
with
in my,
Didn't wanna
she's
kill
been my
them.
hostess gift.
But you'll be able to at least put together the concept that we talked about with the boxing piece. And then right up the street here, there is a company that we deal with, and they have a professional ring in there. And I spoke to him.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, we already started promoting. We're already making the flyers. It's going to be a knockout event, April 12th, 2019. And I'm glad to announce that obviously Don and Freddy are going to be a part of it.
That's right.
So that's wonderful, and thank you. And we are hoping that we're going to make it at Boca West to raise money for Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's.
That's incredible.
Parkinson's has Lewy body dementia related to it. And for those who don't know, Lewy body dementia is actually the second most common form of dementia. So Alzheimer's is the most common form of dementia. There's 100 different types. Lewy body dementia is the second most common. And so many people are affected with Alzheimer's as long with Parkinson's that we really wanted to find a way to highlight both of them and bring them both those neurological disorders into what we call our luncheon, the Brain Bowl. And it is going to be a knockout event. We're going to have hopefully these boxers.
We're going to have boxing gloves, right? We'll have the teal and the purple right on the table as centerpieces.
Centerpieces, like a purple boxing glove and a teal one. And then we're going to hopefully get ropes around the stage to make it look like a boxing ring. And I love the idea when we were brainstorming the other night of having an artist. And Yaakov Heller, our local, wonderful Gallery 22 artist, okay, who does so many things for the community and is just incredible on his own, gave me this idea of who to contact, who might be able to do not just one, but 4 pictures quickly that we could bid on.
Is this the guy who paints with the music on it?
Well, so Michael Israel is who is one of the is who you're kind of thinking of, but there are other local artists that do this and who might be able to be more aware and participate. And so we're going to be talking to them. So at the end of the event, we're going to hopefully have these famous boxers, or even Maria Shriver. Keep your fingers crossed.
All of them.
And all of them, and he'll be doing pictures that we can then auction off to raise more money for those living with Alzheimer's and dementia and Parkinson's.
That's amazing. Awesome. And you do this all volunteer, because this is
not
even your day job.
No, it's not. But I do take a considerable amount of my time to make this happen, because this is a crucial part of where we're living. All joking aside, I've said it to you 1,000 times, we have right now in Palm Beach County 1 in 3 living with dementia right now.
Right.
That number is astronomical. And if it's not even something in your family or your friend's family, it's still impacting you as a taxpayer in our community. When people go wandering, for instance, it costs the city thousands of dollars to actually put a silver alert, which Alzheimer's Community Care lobbied for.
She told me it's like $1,500 an hour.
Mary Barnes has been incredibly instrumental to do the silver alert. We call this disease the silver tsunami in our community. It is completely overtaking us. It's overwhelming. And for the families who are living with it, it's just catastrophic. It really is. And not just on a financial level, not on an emotional level, but overall it impacts every area of their life, because that person who's impacted has to have someone watch them 24 hours a day. 7 days a week. This is not, I'm going to take care of Dawn. I'm going to need you and you and you and you and you, and even then, a little bit more help. It takes 5 people, they estimate, to take care of one person living with Alzheimer's. That's
Mary was
lot.
amazing when we spoke to her. We have those interviews. I think Reed has them, or Rashad has the interviews that we did there. 19 people is what she told me. One person with dementia or Alzheimer's affects at least 19 people.
Oh, and you know what? I love this. I love this state. I was born in Florida. I grew up in Miami and Homestead, Florida, and I love where we're living in Boca del Rey. We live in paradise. But this is not what anyone should have their end of their life. This is not something you should expect. You shouldn't even take it as a guarantee. You should want to fight and make sure that your cognitive, not just your memories, but your cognitive abilities are going to be intact for the rest of your life. And that's what my band of Mary volunteers are doing. And we're all volunteers.
That's
what's great.
In the Hispanic community, if you go to Puerto Rico, like Gigi's mom has dementia, she doesn't know anything, and she walks around, and she affects everybody because everybody's always watching out. But in Puerto Rico, and among the Hispanic community, and again, don't write to me, not all, but a big part, I would say over 85%, they don't even know what's going on with their loved ones. So a sandwich and a television set, and you put a bell on her or him, and that's the way it's being treated among Hispanics.
Well, and that's not alone, I'll be honest with you. The average person who lives in South Florida over the age of 65, the closest living relative to them is over 250 miles away.
That's
Think about that.
craziness.
And what does that mean? That means everyone around them who's a taxpayer is going to have to pay for the state of Florida to have to be able to take care of this person because their own family members are not nearby enough to actually do so.
Oh, I've heard
We've
some
become such a
horrific
transient
stories.
community.
We've talked about some
Yes.
of the stories and family members that are here, and they just tell the facilities, my mom doesn't have the money, I can't afford it, what are you going to do?
Right.
And then you're stuck in this limbo. But that's a whole other conversation.
That is a whole nother
Reed,
conversation.
I want to go to commercial break, and we come back. I really want to talk to Pam about what she does for her day job.
Oh, good, and I have presents to give
tax
you.
Planning. Oh, presents. She never comes empty-handed. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, more with Pam Polani.
Where is my camera?
When was the last time you had a fun girls' night in? Have you heard of Pure Romance? Pure Romance by Michelle Spears offers a fun-filled presentation of our product line, followed by a unique shopping experience that you and your girlfriends will not forget. Call me, Michelle Spears, at 561-572-1901 to reserve a date for your free shopping spree, to learn about income opportunities, or shop my website at pureromance.com/MICHELLESPEARS. And remember, bring Pure Romance back into your life.
In a perfectly imperfect world, you can eat the foods you love, lose weight, and be healthy. But what if I told you you can do just that? In fact, your diet should be perfectly imperfect by eating the foods you love and still achieving your health and wellness goals. I take the guesswork out of nutrition by giving you my simple and effective strategies so that you can live the healthy and happy life you will love using real food to get real results. Schedule your nutrition consultation today at 888-84-TAMMY or visit my website, tammyfogarty.com. Don't delay, get healthy today. 888-84-TAMMY.
Ready, set, ride. Remember when you were a kid and riding a bike was pure fun? It's time to rediscover that carefree feeling again with a Pedigo electric bike. Pedigo is the #1 brand of electric bikes in America because with Pedigo, we put you and the customer service first. Pedigo electric bikes are universally fun for all ages. Choose to pedal for exercise or throttle for full assist. Give Pedigo Fort Lauderdale a call or stop in for a free bike ride. 954-652-1823. Come as you are and try a Pedigo today, where our motto is Hello Fun. 954-652-1823. Tell them the Brooklyn Cafe sent you.
And
we're back.
Brooklyn Cafe TV on a Chit Chat Thursday with Pam Polani.
She
It's
just
pretty
loves,
extraordinary.
you know,
She
she
loves my wine.
just loves the ones. Now, Pam, before you get into gifts and all that, I just want you to know that the cafe now is open from 12 to 2.
Okay.
And what we wanted to do is at 12 to 1, we wanted to put together restaurants, caterers, people to bring food, sit here, and we talk. And we talk about their business, we talk about what they do. And the object of the game, like...
Was to feed you.
Well, no, because I can't eat half the food they bring, but it was to feed Reed. Reed has to eat. But the object of the game is this. We're thinking about next year in mind, April 12th, is that I want to do remotes at certain venues. So, like, we have the deli, the Brooklyn Deli, Long Island
Long
Brooklyn,
Island Bagel and Deli.
which is in Palmetto. If you go there, you get 15% off if you say the Brooklyn Cafe. So I want to do a gig there, and I want to invite you down so we can start
I would
doing
love that.
some fundraisers.
I also like to eat.
Some fundraisers and some awareness at these gigs.
I went out for dinner with Pam. We went out for Mexican food.
Oh,
and
that
Pam
was a great
ordered
venue.
nachos. Not only nachos, steak, chicken, cheese, everything on it except the jalapenos. Not one plate. And then she says, can we order the second plate? We didn't. We changed the second to zucchini nachos.
Wasn't
Not
as
quite
good.
the same.
Why would you order zucchini nachos? That's got to be a you thing.
I tried to listen to the ladies at the table, and you know me. I can get down with my guacamole. I like sour cream. I eat.
Pam does. Pam has a good time.
Yes, I have a very healthy appetite.
You're lucky I wasn't there. I would have ordered 4 plates.
I know.
But I can't eat any of it.
It's a good thing I have lots of energy because I probably would never get through your doorway otherwise.
Hey,
but yes.
Deb. We're in air. Sorry.
It's okay. We're just talking about guacamole.
Deb, it's okay.
Waiting.
It's all right.
You know what?
Don't
This is
worry
a good
about it. It's
segue
okay.
because nothing makes people quiet like keeping their mouths full with kosher for Passover food because it is Passover. So I brought you Passover.
Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, you won't be thanking me in 3 days when you can't go to the bathroom. But you know, I did bring
What kind
you-
of food is this?
So these are jelly fruit slices, and I brought enough for your crew.
Oh my God,
And
Reed,
I brought
you
a
got food,
different
Reed.
type of fruit slice, and I brought
The
you
best.
the best.
The chocolate
The
lollipops are
chocolate
the
lollipops. This is what my son lives on the entire week of Passover.
Welcome to my life. It's Passover chocolate.
Chocolate lolly cones. Now I will warn you, nothing during Passover tastes the same. It just doesn't.
And I will tell you, they
I don't
always
know
fall
why.
off the stick.
Right, and they always follow the stick. But the truth is if you're going to get anything good, this is good.
Yes.
You know. But I did bring enough for all of your crew because I
Thank you,
thought you might be a little hungry.
It's funny because Faith Washington brought in 3 boxes of cake. And they've been sitting in there in a bag because Freddy can't eat them. And it's Passover.
And you know what? I had matzah crackers, but I don't know where they are. They must have fallen out of my bag.
So they finally broke into it, and they're enjoying it. Thank you, Pam.
You're so welcome.
And I do have to show this to Pam because
Yes,
Pam will love this. But while we talk,
We like to share
See
with
this?
I saw this. Don't be
We
afraid
feed
to
you.
sparkle.
But I want to talk to Pam what we were talking about the other night, wills and estates. And you had people calling the radio station even after your show was over because they have never heard a presentation about what you do and how you presented it. And you don't do it in a scary way, in an overwhelming way. It's just matter of fact, let's get things in line, and not only for the elderly, for even kids.
Right. Well, so my big focus with estate planning is, and I tell people all the time, you know, before your troubles hit the fan, make sure to do your estate plan. The idea being is that, you know, I might look like Barbie, but I am going to fight like G.I. Joe for you.
G.I. Joe?
And G.I. Joe. And, well, it is Passover. So I'm going to fight like G.I. Joe for you.
She's like you're like a movie, you know that?
And
She's a stand-up actor.
I'm gonna make you a movie.
you know, it's funny. Okay, we're going to segue. There's a stand-up comedian thing going on in Meisner, and a bunch of people have been sending it to me, asking me to do it. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
You should.
No, I like my day job, but. And that's really the bottom line. I like my day job. I love what I do because I get to feel that I'm protecting people. So I would say 40% of my practice is based on people who never listen to my advice or the advice of any attorney or anyone else who told them you need to get your estate plan in practice. That's about 40% of my practice is litigation. The remaining percentage of my practice is estate planning. It's not as lucrative, but it's a lot more rewarding, and it's why I can look at myself in the end of the day in the mirror and say, you did good. Because when I tell people how really inexpensive estate planning can be, they go, well, that still sounds like a lot of money to me. I go, oh, no. My office, we won't charge you for phone calls. We're not going to charge you for emails. I'm going to let you do monthly payments. I'm going to bend over backwards to make sure your estate documents are done right.
Okay, so how inexpensive can it be?
It can be very inexpensive. I mean, the least expensive document I prepare is $200.
Oh, that's.
I mean, we're not talking it's going to break your bank, but I will tell you what will break you,
It's not
emotionally and
having them.
financially.
It's not having them.
Is not having these documents in place, and if you have to forget probate, you know, which is traditionally what people call me and say, I want to figure out ways. Guardianship. Guardianship in the time that we've been speaking about Alzheimer's and dementia. Each and every one of us is not likely to die early if we are relatively in a good lifestyle. You're much more likely that you're going to, at this point, live well past your legal and financial resources. That is just the reality. It is no longer estate planning, it's longevity planning. And the idea is that between certain ages, you need certain documents in place. So anyone over the age of 18 should really have 4 documents. and I'll scream from the hilltops over and over again, you should have a pre-need designation of guardianship in place, a living will healthcare surrogate, a durable power of attorney, as long with a HIPAA. I don't care that you don't own $10 in your bank account. The most important thing in this world that you should be worried about and protecting is you.
What's the difference between the guardianship and the...
Probate?
No, the guardianship and a healthcare surrogate.
Very big difference. So a guardianship is going to be the holistic document that says, in the event that you are permanently incapacitated and you can no longer take care of your financial or healthcare decisions, this person is going to become like the natural guardian. So we always think of guardianship in terms of...
For your kids.
Right, for your kids, okay? Nobody wants to think that their 22-year-old might need them to become their guardian. But with the, and this is Autism Awareness Month. Right? We actually should all be wearing blue, I think. But the idea is nobody thinks about the fact that we have an increased amount of children being born that are going to have lots of issues that might require guardianship, meaning these children will never be able to take care of themselves financially, emotionally, in any possible way. That's not the kind of situation I'm talking about. I'm talking about the horrific situation where a young man goes down Atlantic Avenue and an older person hits him straight on, and they unfortunately come out of this accident alive, but no longer able to take care of themselves. They are completely disabled. So, and once you turn 18, it doesn't matter if mom and dad are paying your bills. It doesn't matter if your uncle is taking care of your care, if you're on your Aunt Sue's medical insurance. Once you're 18, if you don't have certain documents in place, no one can make a decision for you unless court intervention happens to intercede, or you've actually written down what you need to do.
Well, I wanted to ask you about that. If, like my son, if something were to happen to him, and there are decisions that have to be made, like pulling a plug, let's say,
How old
whatever.
is he?
He's 26.
Mm-hmm.
And does his wife get that choice, or do I get that choice? Is his mother?
Freddie, the women got the right to vote many years ago. We're now independent of men.
No, I'm not saying it because
we actually
that.
can own property now.
I'm not saying it because
Does the spouse have automatic
Is it the
rights?
spouse that does
so,
it?
and it's a gender neutral thing, really, because that's what I'm trying to say. It's no longer your spouse can make decisions for you because they are quote unquote the next of kin.
But let's say there's no
Terry
paperwork.
Schiavo was a landmark case that actually put this into the public eye very well, where the husband wanted a medical decision for his wife that was absolutely in contrary to what the family wanted. Right? And the court has said each person is independent of their spouse. And I've made the mention of it many times to my husband's probable chagrin, but I keep financial accounts completely separate from my husband. I love him, but he's Israeli, and I don't actually want to have him have any control over my bank accounts. So we have separate bank accounts. He cannot make decisions for me unless I put it down in writing. In fact, some decisions I don't think he would be the best person for, and we've talked about this. He was of the mind that, if he went into a coma, he would come out of it. I explained to him, am I going to make this joke on air? I don't know if I should, but I used to say to him, no, you're not going to come out of that medically induced coma because I'm going to put a pillow on your face.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
I'm not going to let myself go into financial and emotional ruin because you didn't sign a document. So, I think for my 10th wedding anniversary, he signed a living will nominating me his healthcare surrogate, and what a lovely day that was.
You rejected it?
No, I accepted it fully.
Oh, okay.
The pillow's going on his face tomorrow.
But what if there is no paperwork?
That's when I get called, and that's when I get really expensive, and I bill by my billable hour, and people go, well, that's a lot of money. I said, yes, but now I just had to stop my entire day to take care of whatever your pressing needs were because you didn't take the time to do it beforehand.
But this is what I meant. That question was, suppose there is no paperwork in place.
And
who's going to
So I give
be
the example all the
factor?
time where I had a client who was put into a medically induced coma, never signed anything, okay, beforehand, and was in a car accident. They put him in a medically induced coma, okay, and unfortunately, while he was in the coma, he developed secondary issues. Now, he obviously got rushed to the hospital, so the hospital didn't have time to have him sign anything. Right? He didn't have enough coherence at any point to sign anything. So what happens in that case? He wasn't married. His sister wanted to have control. We actually ran to court to get an emergency order so that the doctors could do what they needed to do.
Gotcha.
Okay? That's very expensive.
And it could be.
I have a very healthy shoe habit, and
She's
if
got phenomenal
I do,
shoes.
and I will say that when people call me, I don't like those calls, which is why I've dedicated a huge majority of my practice to doing estate planning. Again, not the most lucrative side for me. I spend a lot of time doing it, but most people, 9/10 out of the, like I would say maybe 7 out of 10 people, right, listen to me when I finally meet with them, but 3 out of the 10 don't. And then, of course, there's all the people who never even call any estate planning
Because
attorney.
they don't even realize it. I mean, God forbid
Well, it's
something
also,
were
or
to
they
happen.
think they can download a document off the internet. And I always say a little bit of knowledge can be a very dangerous thing, right? And unfortunately, what you don't know, you're not going to find out until it's too late.
Sometimes Google is not your friend. When
No.
it comes to medical issues and legal issues,
I actually
Google
have a
is
sign
not
in my
your friend.
office that says, please do not substitute Google for my law degree.
It's true.
And it's true, because the fact is although I would rather them do something, I'm always going to advocate. I actually did a seminar recently at the Parkinson's organization, and one of the women who came to hear the seminar was talking about the need to do these documents, and she was saying, and Pam's great, but don't use internet. You got to go to an estate planning attorney. I've seen, she's in the healthcare profession. She said, I see what happens when people download documents. They don't do it properly. They didn't notarize it. They didn't witness it. It doesn't explain what they wanted. And I pulled her aside afterwards and I said, with all due respect, I'm never going to advocate for someone to always use an attorney. I just would rather them do something. If they're not going to do anything, right? It's like saying to somebody who doesn't exercise, right, a whole lot, no, don't take a walk around the block. That's not going to help you. A little bit would help.
Start with one house.
So if you're going to start doing something, do something and put it in writing, get it witnessed and notarized. If you have such a healthy fear of attorneys and their costs involved, then find somebody who's not going to make you afraid. There's a reason I come out to do these kind of events and why I go and I talk and why I do the Alzheimer's luncheon and I do a lot of philanthropy, because I want people to see attorneys as approachable, as understanding, as reasonable. Something like 70% of people who need legal advice don't seek legal counsel because they're afraid of what it's going to mean when they get in front of an attorney. The only time most people call me is, one, because they got in a traffic accident and they want me to fight the ticket, or two, somebody died and they realize they cannot transfer the asset without me. Because in the state of Florida, and this is why I picked this area, you have to have an attorney handle your probate. Yes. So, unless it's summary administration.
Just write something down. I remember my grandparents were getting older. My grandmother had dementia, God bless her. She was 90-something, and she left notes around the house. These glasses go to this grandchild. These go to that. And as we went through things, we found where they went. Now, did they cause a lot of issues? Because now Grandma had dementia, and she wrote all these notes. So maybe she wasn't in her right mind, but it was written, and everyone honored her wishes. Not to say there's not hard feelings, but they did honor her wishes.
I'm going to give you the instance. I have a client who called me last week. His son called me. And he said, my dad wants to change his durable power of attorney, and would you please do it? You did it for him in 2014. When I met with his father in 2014, he made it very clear that this son should not have his durable power of attorney, okay? He designated 2 other children. And when I met with him in 2014, he had Parkinson's, and I was already concerned that he didn't have dementia at the time, but I could see that he was having the beginning of some cognitive issues. Enough to sign documents, enough to understand what he was signing. He had testamentary capacity. We had witnesses and a notary to assure to that. But now it's several years later, am I going to feel comfortable, right? And I explained to his son, if your dad is going to sign a new document, I'm going to bring my psychologist and have a neurological psychiatric evaluation done, and have the psychiatrist be one of the witnesses before we draft paperwork. And the son's like, okay, how much will that cost me? And I said, probably around $5,500. And the son's like, I'll call you back, right? And the issue is, when you go to an attorney, my name and address and contact information is on each and every page. No one's going to mess with it. Aside from which, I'm always going to be the advocate then. Yes. When someone has signed with me documents and I get that phone call, I don't get paid to look out for them at that point, but I consider that my costs in the beginning, when I did the estate planning, that's going to include down the line some of these phone calls. Maybe not all attorneys feel that way, but that's how I've built my practice.
And I think people don't realize it can be affordable.
Well, wait a minute. What if
Fear.
an attorney comes along and decides to, like this kid, he gets another attorney. They still
Right.
have to go through you, though.
Well, and so the concern I have for this particular man is that his son is going to find another attorney who's not so scrupulous, okay?
Exactly.
And have his father sign a document.
And then what happens?
So I actually took a step further, and I contacted, because I already had the permission from way back to contact the children, right? So I went ahead and made a phone call to the current durable power of attorney and said, hey, just be forewarned, you know, your brother might be trying to change documents. I also put a caveat in the guardianship court to let them know that this durable power of attorney has been signed. I took steps that I don't get paid for.
Right.
Okay. And in addition, I've already let the psychologist know. So if he wants to pay a visit and charge accordingly. Why? Because if a new durable power of attorney does come around, we'll have grounds to declare it void based on lack of testamentary capacity.
Right.
I'm putting the groundwork in for it. These are not things I get paid for, but it's like, you know, your husband's a doctor, and he's a great doctor. And I got to go to a luncheon where he was being honored, and I was happy to be there to celebrate him. When you are in a profession, you get to make a choice. Are you going to do the bare minimum, or are you going to go over and over and over again the top? I make mistakes all the time. I spent an hour and a half yesterday on the phone with a client who was very upset. And when we first came to her home, because I go to people's homes to help them do this so they feel comfortable, okay? When we went to her home, we had lots of issues with the paperwork. Some were on her end, some were on our end. And I said, don't worry about it. This is just our first meeting with these documents. Well, we're going to meet you again. We're going to do it. And she's still upset. I'm like, why are you upset? If I said goodbye, I took your money, and I said so long, then you would have reason to be upset. We're going to work with you. We're going to make sure that everything is done right so that, again, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to sleep well at night. I go to people's homes on Sundays, 3 Sundays every month. Why? Because they don't travel well. They're older. Sometimes they have illnesses. Sometimes it's a young couple. Those are my favorites. I love the young couples because they have children and they're both working a full-time job and they can't take time off in their job to come and visit me during business hours. So I go to them on a Sunday so grandma can watch the kids and I can talk to the parents about what they need to do. I love that, right? The sadder cases are the ones where I'm going to the house because they have ALS or they have some type of disability. But again, this is where my practice is a little different. And I'm very proud of what my law firm has become because this is the whole point, is trying to show people that lawyers don't have to be the scary entity. We are the protectors. We are the bulldogs. We are the defenders.
You really are a concierge attorney.
I really am a concierge attorney.
She looks like Barbie. She fights like G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe. I love it. I'm going to say that all during Passover. I am G.I. Joe. I love it.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back with more of Pam Polani. I know there's so many questions. Write them in on Facebook, and we'll be right back.
Brilliant. Want to make your smartphone brilliant? One tap creates a virtual wine fine tuner. Another, a coffee refiner. A beauty cream and makeup enhancer.
Wow.
Look at your eye.
What a difference.
And with still just a tap, a strength and flexibility harmonizer.
Yeah, I definitely felt something different.
This is the Vitalizer. In the App Store on any smartphone, a simple download that will embed specific frequencies and vibrations into your phone's light photons and sound waves. Calibrations designed to affect taste,
Vitalizer one is better than the other one, for sure.
hydration, absorption,
Feel silkier.
and perhaps most incredibly, your strength, flexibility, and energy. Amazing.
Wow. Crazy. Well, salud. I'm loving it.
Go to www.vitalizerapp.com and make your smartphone brilliant.
The Heart of Delray Gallery, located in the Delray Art Complex, is one of South Florida's top venues for art, culture, music, and private events. The Heart of Delray Gallery is a cutting-edge, 11,000 square foot art exhibition showcasing local artists and artisans with the highest quality of talent and vision, highlighting South Florida's creative arts. Visit us at the Heart of Delray Gallery, 1440 North Federal Highway in Delray Beach. Come, take a tour, book your next private event or fundraiser, or join us for Art Walk the first Friday of every month from 6 to 11 p.m. For more information, give us a call at 561-278-0074.
What is CBD? CBD, or cannabidiol, is found in the cannabis plant. CBD can help regulate your mood, sleep, inflammation, and immunity. Did you know we all have internal systems ready to balance CBD? It's time to get healthy, not high. Do you suffer from anxiety, chronic pain, or moodiness? Contact Jamie Hidalgo at 561-674-7446. The #1 legal and leading CBD company in the United States. Call Jamie, safe for all ages, at 561-674-7446, or visit us online at www.livelovecbd.com.
And we're back on the Brooklyn Cafe on a Chit Chat Thursday. Gosh, the weeks go so fast, I cannot even believe it. My daughter's counting the days until Passover is over, and I've got 3 pieces of matzah left. It's always, do you invest in another box, or do you just try and make it through and scrape through? It's so sad what we do, isn't it?
It's very sad. and I'm looking so forward to having a bowel movement soon. So, yay!
We've got Pam Polani on the set with us. We're not discussing Passover, really. We're talking about trust, estate planning, getting your documents in order. And the biggest thing I remember when we did it when our kids were little, the 2 scariest things were guardianship of our children, which of course my husband and I had a very hard time agreeing on, because he wanted someone, I wanted someone, and therein lies why we put it off for so long. But now that we're past that stage, then we got into the college stages, and a very good friend said, they're going to study abroad. You need these documents in place, because now your children are over 18 and you have no legal rights to them or the medical care, whether they're in college, on the road driving to college, or in another country. So then we took the next step, and now there's even more steps to take. And really, you can do 4 basic documents, you said. You don't even have to invest a lot if you're going to take small baby steps, but get some documents in place.
Well, and the idea is everybody comes to me and says, I want my wealth to go to my children. Just make that happen. And I say, let's take it a step back. My concern is you're my client. I want to make sure you're taken care of for the rest of your life. So at the end, and for the majority of Americans right now, they're not going to have a whole lot.
We have no wealth coming on either side.
Yes. So, I've told my children a long time ago, you have 2 feet. You're going to have to learn how to stand on them, because I might be rich, but you're poor. So, and if I'm rich today, that doesn't mean I'm going to be rich tomorrow. The chances are I'm going to live, God be willing. The average age of a woman right now in our country is 87. That's average. That's not BOCO, where we take care of ourselves.
For a woman?
For a woman. You know what it is for a man?
27.
Listen,
well, it depends when he gets married.
84.
That's if he depends on how long he's been married.
We used to be able to kill our husbands off a lot faster.
Yeah,
We're not
like
doing
70s.
such a good job anymore. But the point being is that's the average age. So if you are taking good care of yourself, like my friend Dawn here, who looks gorgeous always and is very healthy and eats well, you are going to live most likely into your hundreds. And are we going to have the financial and the mental acuity to be able to do that without needing some type of assistance? And the answer is most likely not. So you need to have those documents in place. But again, for children, people call me all the time and they say, well, my son's in college. And the college said that they'll do certain documents. I'm like, that's great, but that really only applies to that college. If your child has an accident, God forbid, somewhere off campus, good luck, If your child needs your help with financial issues off campus, good luck, okay?
And being married doesn't mean now the spouse has automatic rights. Living with someone doesn't mean the person you reside with doesn't mean they have automatic rights.
I've got one more to throw into you. Digital assets. How many people are thinking about their PayPal, Google accounts, Shutterfly, Facebook, LinkedIn, any kind of email accounts you have? What are some of Foursquare? Right? A lot of businesses are using processing companies and holding money in those assets, right? Personal businesses, okay? Anything that has a digital binary asset needs to be addressed in your estate planning.
Wow.
It's funny because I saw that from Facebook. They ask you, what do you want to do with your account?
Right. Legacy.
If you die, the legacy.
Legacy account. And you know why that came out? because of people like me who sued Facebook. I mean, well, and that's really the bottom line is you've got a lot of attorneys who have had to come up and say, wait a second, the law is changing at a quicker pace than we are able to handle, but we need to start addressing what happens with certain accounts when someone dies. And people want to be able to take control of those assets. And Google says, no, not unless you have a personal representative or executor appointed for a probate. And people are like, what? I need to have probate just to get certain assets removed? That's ridiculous. Guess what? Estate planning. It's the way to go.
It's just so funny.
Because it's not even what it used to be. It's not,
No.
you have to have an estate or you put things in a trust because you've got all this money that needs to go in a trust fund. It is so much more than that.
How about this? You know, we used to talk about people arguing over, you know, let's say the wand, okay? It's a very nice wand. People would argue over the wand. What about pictures? Who's going to take all your Shutterfly pictures and be in control of them? You know, you have 3 sisters and they all want mom's pictures, right? And they're all digitalized. Who's going to take control of that? And the arguments that ensue. And that's where it gets fun, you know?
You know, it's interesting. My brother passed away, I think, 17 years ago. 2 days ago was his anniversary. And I sat down because I saw his son writing stuff and my niece. And my brother had a record collection that was incredible. I mean, when I tell you incredible, incredible. He had every album by the Beatles since day one, everything. What happened to that stuff? Nobody knows. Nobody knows what happened to that.
And this is also
his
why I
house.
go into people's homes. So I started developing this practice of going into people's homes for 2 reasons. One is I go, when it's an older couple, I go in the afternoon because there's a thing called sundowners. So if you're not familiar, it means that usually dementia signs will show as the day goes on. Like almost like a baby at 5 o'clock loses it, right? You've had children, you know what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, adults become the same. Around 5 o'clock, there's a switch.
Bewitching hour, yes.
Right?
It's happy hour.
And I can see in their home if there's hoarding going on, if there's food laid out, if they're not taking care of themselves. I can see all that. Whereas if in my office, they come in my office, I'm not going to likely see that. But the second reason I go to people's homes is I see those collections. Or better, I see their pets. You know how many people don't even address their dogs and what's going to happen with their parrots and whatnot in their estate planning?
Their parrots.
No, parrots can outlive you. This is
No
really
kidding.
actually a very serious topic.
How about the wallabies?
Well, that's a whole. That's my favorite story. She knows the story really well. But I went to a client who had wallabies, and yes, wallabies.
And they're in the house.
And
wallaby.
wallabies. And I've had pigs. You know, pork belly.
Pigs I can see. People are actually having
pigs.
pigs.
Lots of pigs. I've had lots of homes with pigs in them. But animals that might outlive you. How about a chimpanzee?
There you go.
Okay.
Who gets the monkey?
Right? Who gets the monkey? But more importantly, what do you want to see done? I've had people will say to me, I want my dog to be euthanized when I die and buried with me.
Really?
Yes. Well, no, so you say what? But you know what? That's the whole point.
In the same box or different boxes?
You know what? You picked your shirt today. You picked your shoes. Why wouldn't you want to pick what you're going to have done?
Well, I got a good one for you. Being cremated or not.
Okay.
I don't want to be
He
cremated.
says this because he knows. So I am, I am more than slightly observant in some ways than a lot of my Jewish friends, but in some things I'm not. And one of them is I've opted to actually say I want to be cremated.
You want to be cremated?
I think that there's very minimal earth to be had. I think that it is a more green way to go. I also don't want my children to have to feel that they are going to visit me here in a spot. That's not where I am. My energy will be everywhere because they'll be in the ocean. And it's a lot less expensive to be cremated.
I agree with her. I want to be like
let go.
Wait, hold on.
I know I'm
Hold on.
Southern, but I want to tell you, let go of that terror idea.
But hold on a second. It's okay.
Land is
You can
expensive.
you can feel that way. I don't want to be cremated.
Then you better put it down in writing.
But this is what I'm saying. Now, I can understand millennials. What they do now is they plant you in a tree. Have you seen this thing? They make you a tree.
Oh, I
do
love
I look like I want
that.
to be a tree? I don't want to be a tree.
I love
if I wanted
the
to be a
continuity of life.
if I wanted to be a tree, I would have been a tree. I want to go the same way I can. If and
Kicking and screaming.
I don't need a whole. That's right. I don't need a whole lot of earth. I need a 6x6 box. That's
Listen,
all I
Freddy,
need.
this is
need
why I
nothing
tell
else.
people I don't drink water, because if God intended me to be a fish, he would have, he would have done so. This is why I don't drink water. My choices are usually of more of the adult beverages, okay? However,
Well,
and I
we'll
put
bury
that,
you with
and
a bottle of booze,
I
but I
actually
still
put that.
don't want to be
I put that,
cremated.
and I don't like funerals. I unfortunately, as a probate attorney,
I
go
love-
to a lot of funerals. I don't like funerals. I want a memorial where everybody has to come in a cowgirl hat or cowboy hat and have a party and talk about the fun things Pam used to say and celebrate my life, not honor my death. Okay,
Honey, I'm going to tell you, I want a mausoleum. They
Well,
don't even make those anymore. But
but
I would
that's
like a
great.
mausoleum where you come
Wait, I
and
need
you
a
have
pencil.
a party.
Anybody pencil? Can
you
I write
have
this down?
you have a party every Saturday when you
I'm
see
gonna
me.
write this
Don't
up
come
for you.
crying.
I will write this all up for
She's
you.
got a unicorn pen. She's good to go.
I've been on your back for, I don't know what, 3 years, 2 years, something like that to get this done already. So I will continue to plague you until you get it down in writing, okay? And I'm just telling
But I
you.
got new ones.
As ready, I'm a complete anomaly. I am a Southern Jewish Israeli American. Okay,
With blonde hair and blue
and
eyes.
with blonde
She's
and blue
an
eyes,
anomaly.
right? Barbie and right, G.I. Jew. Okay, and I am going to tell you, my Puerto Rican friend, that you need to put your wishes down. If this is what you want, she's talking about her grandmother putting tidbits of paper all over the house and then people arguing, wait a second, I wanted this, I wanted that. Put it down. Why make your heirs argue? But more importantly, why wouldn't you want to have things in your life explained what you want?
No,
I'll
you're
get
right.
you better. Ready?
You're right.
For your
You're right.
living will. I have
Or
clients who are
living will
Jehovah Witnesses who
Yeah.
have very certain ideas on what type of medical procedures they want. But I also have Orthodox Jews who understand that I get the halachech, the customs involved with Judaism, where it's quantity of life over quality many times. And my living will for those people can be 22 pages long. That's unusual. Most living wills are like 4 pages. Okay, why? Because I'll say, if I have this stage of cancer and this situation arises, this is what I want happen. And then they can put down. I have clients though who are from Boca, love Boca. And they say, I want my nurse to be able to paint my nails every Tuesday, and I don't want it. I want Lisa to come in and do
They
my
tweeze
nails,
my eyebrows?
right? And if I'm in hospice or if I'm in rehab for a certain period of time, I want to make sure that my makeup lady comes every Tuesday, right?
When you're
And-
dead?
No, they're alive.
When they have dementia, make your hair done.
I
your
was
makeup
saying,
done.
gonna
And
dig the
actually
body up through
they
my
say,
nails?
And don't let Barbara do my hair. It has to be Lisa, okay, who comes and does my hair. And don't let them put red on my nails because that's trashy. Okay, I mean, I have a client who did this. So, and played this type of music. And there's no judgment, by the way, none. Okay.
So let me get this right. You can even say what you want to wear. Like if I want a guayabera, I don't want a suit.
Yeah.
All that gets done too.
100%, and you should.
Pretty cool.
Why wouldn't you want
You
your
should,
death
because
and your
they-
life to reflect your values?
That's right. That's why
Because Gio
do
and
not
Freddy may not
cremate
agree.
me. And listen, this is living proof of video. Don't cremate me. Don't want to go
I have
that
to
way.
do one more shout out. You see this
Can
beautiful
we do
necklace?
documents this way? Can you do video documents?
I do video documents sometimes. So like because I do travel
Hey,
to
Rashad,
people.
do you want a job? Yes. Well, there you go. We just grew to a new
Yeah,
production
that's actually
level.
a very big thing because I often go into people's homes, and so that there's no indicia of undue influence. Sometimes I do require that the will signing or whatnot is videoed.
good idea.
Sometimes it's a second language. We have a very big
Yeah.
population of immigrants in this country. So even if I have a translation of all the documents themselves have to be in English. So I want to make sure that it's all documented, that this person understood what I was saying and signed the documents. Sometimes it's an end of life. And Dawn knows I have to hold her hand as I say this. I had a very good friend who died a year ago, and we went to the hospital to do the documents before she died, and we made sure that they were videoed because there was issues with the family, and we wanted to make sure that we showed that she understood. We had stopped the morphine, that she was of clear mind, and that she understood what she was signing. So yeah, video is actually sometimes very important.
Well, the important thing is when my mother died, she didn't leave a will. And when she died, we didn't even know how she wanted to be buried, right? So it wasn't until the day when I got there and I spoke to my father and I said, Dad, do you remember what she wanted, how she wanted to be dressed? Now, I always thought my mother wanted to have a green dress because my mother was very fond of the color green. And they buried her in a blue dress. Now, I didn't make a stink because the hurricane was just leaving and everything was a mess and we didn't do anything. But my father, he walked and he picked the box that he wanted for her, which was sealed. Thank God, that was a great move. And he wanted what he wanted because she didn't leave anything behind. So I can relate.
Well, how about veterans? You know, a lot of times when my clients are talking to me, they forget to mention that their husband served in World War II. And veterans get a very special ceremony, actually, a flag ceremony.
They did it for my brother,
But that should be indicated. And a lot of times, the husband or wife didn't even talk about their service. And so the kids don't even remember it. And then the man gets buried without due honors.
Yeah.
And that's a horrible thing to do to our veterans. Yep. So I was going to do a shout out. I wanted to explain something. Ready? So Greg Freed is a great jeweler. And Greg, you better hear this. And I went in and I said, listen, I bought a bracelet and the stones had come out. He said, no problem, we're going to fix it for you. I said, but then my arm will be bare. And he said, no worries, I'm going to give you a loaner. And he did.
He gave you a loaner?
He gave me a loaner until my bracelet. And it's been a while. You can't have it back until my bracelet's fixed.
It is
Greg.
magnificent,
But, and he's not
You
expecting
like that one better
It's
than the one you
magnificent.
put in?
Yeah, I might end up buying this one too. But the point, which is
He's
probably
a smart man.
smart man. But here's the point. This is a gold bracelet.
Yeah.
I have a case right now going where the mom said the gold bracelet shall go to my daughter Stephanie. I'm changing names, obviously, okay? But it's public record, so you can look it up. Well, the mom had 3 gold bracelets, no specificity whatsoever put in, right? How are you going to know? You really want to make your children fight for things? Then don't be specific. If you really want to have your children wonder at the worst time of their lives when they've just lost you, forget about the money that you don't give them, okay? Worry about having to figure out how you're going to be buried, what kind of memorial, you know, where do you want to be buried, all those things that have to be decided pretty quickly when their brain is in a fog, okay? The nicest thing you can do for your loved ones is say, this is what I want, this is who. Parents will say to me, can't I make all 3 of my children be the people who decide my health care? Well, what if one daughter argues with the son about your health care? In the meantime, who's hurting? You. Be decisive. Say, this is what I'm going to want to do, this is who I want, and make it happen. It's very difficult for parents and you know, and children to think about these things.
How can people find you?
Call me through
Here,
Dawn.
always.
Always here. I'm always happy to be with Dawn.
Freddie vets all our phone calls.
My direct email is my last name, which is like the country of Poland. It's Polani, so instead of a D at the end, there's an I, polani@bellsouth.net. That's my direct email. My law firm email is a lot longer, so I won't do it. My telephone number for my office is 561-496-4222. But if you open up Facebook and you don't find me, I'd be surprised. I'm all over it.
She's everywhere.
Is
I'm
it true
everywhere.
you're running for mayor of Boca?
I am not. That is absolutely a lie. I don't live in the city of Boca.
Would you like to?
No.
Oh, you
I
don't
do
live-
not.
She doesn't live in Boca.
I don't live in Boca.
Somewhere else.
I live somewhere else.
Would you want to be the mayor? You want to be the mayor of somewhere else?
She's in Palm Beach County, though.
I don't want to do any type of municipal
Oh, I
politics
thought you wanted
whatsoever.
to be mayor.
Things change.
No.
Things have changed?
No, it was always going to be on a county
I know
level.
that, but I want you to run for mayor. I think you would win.
Well, we actually, so I'm in an unincorporated area of Delray.
We'll incorporate you.
And so I'm really not, and I could move into a property and
Yeah.
declare that as my residence in any city. And
And I'll be your agent and we'll run for mayor.
But I really, that's not where I think, you know,
Oh,
the Lord
trust me.
above has put me.
I had a conversation.
We just had this luncheon.
Yeah.
942 people came to my luncheon.
Thank you very
much.
Okay. And we raised $200,000 at this luncheon.
There you go.
And we did a very good job, and it's all charity, and we have people who donate their services so that we can put more monies back into the charities. And that has been my cause. And I do it really not because anybody in my family has died of dementia or Alzheimer's. They have it.
Bless you.
God bless you. But it's really because this is what this community needs.
Yeah, but that's
So
what we
after
need.
out of lots of introspection, I have said, where do people need me? And right now, I'm going to say it's the Brain Bowl, which I'm really excited to announce. We have a new chairperson who's going to be doing it with me. My co-chair will be Kim Champion of Champion Home Healthcare. So we really got to get Kim
We
on
gotta
the
get Kim
show.
on.
Yeah, we got to get her on the show.
Get her on next.
Well, we got to get everybody on there. But that, and
And
again,
you've met Kim.
Yes.
Yes.
and we want to do events. We want to do luncheons. We want to do everything from here to April 12th. I want to do some gigs and shows out there and raise some money
wants
and
to do
awareness.
something
So
at least
people
once a
like
month.
Greg and you and Kim Champion, anybody who is philanthropic and doing business, I want to hear from, because those are the people who I like to support in a big way. When you are giving back to charity and giving to our community, you are showing that you are a person of not only pecuniary measures, like that you want to make money, but that you're also really about merit. And that is, to me, everything. Don't be bitter, be better.
Don't be bitter, be
That
better.
coming
Amazing.
from, what do we call
Contact
her?
Pam for any information, questions. She will come to you, and do not be overwhelmed and bury your head in the sand because of financial needs, because it's only going to be worse at the end. So let's be proactive. It's a baby step. Walk one house, do one document, and just keep going forward. Polani at
bellsouth.net.
Thank you, Pam.
Excellent.
We'll see you
thank you,
tomorrow.
Donna, Freddy.
Same time,
Thank
same
you.
place. Please
Friday,
be kind to
tomorrow.
each other. Funky Friday.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
All right.